Good morning, you beautiful people. Good morning, Adam.
Hi,
How are
Bex.
we doing
Give
this
us a hug.
morning?
Oh, good to see you.
It's always nice to see you. It's always nice to be in the potting shed with you lovely people. So thank you so much for joining us. Check out this big beauty we've got going on down here.
It's a tree.
It's
almost.
Honestly, you're not going to believe the price on this. I think we are both a bit blown away by this, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'll come to it in a sec, I promise. Promise. But I just need to do some of the boring stuff. We just need to let you know some of the boring details, but it's really important details so that you get the best offers that we have available. The first one is, you can see an offer code on the screen right now. It's changed this week. It's YG2424. Nice and easy for you to remember. Sorry, YGTV2424. So nice and easy to remember. What that offer code is going to do is it's going to unlock all of the amazing deals that we have. If there is a saving on a plant or pot or compost, that offer code unlocks it. If there is a double up deal, if there's a buy one, get one free. If you want a free gift putting into your basket, which this week is, we've kept it, it's our Blooming Fast feed. 100 litres worth you can make from that little sachet there. £4.99 that's normally worth. It's absolutely free when you put that offer code in when you place your order, and you will get multiples of these if you place multiple orders. It's one per order, not one per customer. The other thing that that offer code unlocks is the free postage offer. Nobody likes paying postage.
No.
Do you like paying postage?
No, I hate paying postage.
I do.
I want stuff. I don't want postage.
No.
No.
Well, if you get your order to over £40 and you use the offer code YG2424, you will get free postage. And if you think about this big beauty being delivered to you, it's huge. You can get that absolutely free if you get your order to over £40. This one is normally this is going to be £8.99 postage because of the size of it. So definitely, if you're adding that into your basket, get it to over £40 and save that money.
So,
go on, you were going to say something.
Even this, we've had to make this an extra special kind of more expensive cost than normal for P&P. Even this we can get free P&P. Even
this we can get for free P&P. You just need to get that order to over £40, and I know how easy that is to do, but if you can't get your order to over 40, I completely understand. We all have budgets to live by, sadly. But if you don't get your order to £40, you will only pay one postage cost. So even if you've got 5 items in your basket and they've all got postage attached to them, you'll only pay one postage cost. So there is something for everybody's spend, everybody's budgets. The other thing I really want to urge you to do, and we've had lots of new members join recently actually, and that is to join our discount club. It costs just £5 to join. It lasts you for 12 months. It auto-renews at the end of the 12 months, but this isn't one of those clubs where we go, give us £5 now.
Yeah.
And then in 12 months, we want £40 from you, please. That is not the case at all. If you join the auto-renewal club at £5 and you don't let it lapse, what happens is you will always pay £5 for that club. Even if we put the price up, you will only pay £5 per year, and what that gives you is 10% discount off everything that we bring you. Plants, pots, compost. You can shop the entire website as well. You get £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers to spend throughout the year. We absolutely adore being members of that club. I've saved a fortune, you've saved a fortune, Sean Ryan saved a fortune, and I know our beautiful regulars, you've all saved a lot of money as well, and highly recommend it. All right, I think I've done the boring stuff. Have I done all the boring stuff, Stu? Yep, sounds like it.
I can't think of anything else, Bex. You'll do your little kind of magic advice for getting the P&P free and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And your little tricks with the compost.
We've got a few little tricks.
Multiple free gifts.
That's it, multiple free gifts or some of the lower priced items. That reminds me, Stu, I haven't brought any pots in.
I was just thinking that. I was just looking behind me
what is wrong with me? Sorry. We've got a few little low-priced items as well so that we can tip your basket to the over £40, and we will highlight all of those throughout the show. You go to yougarden.com to place your orders, or you can use the phone lines 0844 502 0050. Just make sure that you use the offer code, please, and make sure you send us your pictures. Send us your pictures to ygtv@yougarden.com. Questions, comments, anything you like. Send us some stuff to there, because we love looking at your gardens, basically. Right, boring stuff over. Talk to us about this beautiful mock orange, the Pittosporum tabera.
Yeah, well, when this came in this morning, I thought it was going to be for set dressing.
Make the potting shed look
pretty.
pretty.
I thought, yes, good. A bit set dressing, kind of fill a space, make it look nice and green and outsidey. Lovely Craig kind of walked in with it. Yeah, Pittosporum tabera is an absolutely stunning shrub. I've kind of experienced this shrub where we used to. Well, I've done sort of 3 or 4 gardens at the Chelsea Flower Show, name dropping. But
you can name drop as much as you like, Adam.
We used to build these our gardens in a part of Chelsea called Ranelagh Gardens, or the plateau area. The plateau, so very posh, the plateau area.
The plateau.
Yeah.
Plateau.
And on one corner there is a Pittosporum tabayra, and it flowers. This one's not flowering now, but it will flower. And oh my goodness me, the fragrance of this is absolutely divine.
Oh, I can't wait to smell it.
Honestly, Bex, I mean, they get smothered in these gorgeous white flowers, and then it's one of those fragrances that really carries on the air. And I remember when we used to work on the garden, lots of people would walk along and they kind of stop and like,
what's that smell?
What's
What
that
is
smell?
What is it?
And people used to ask us, what's that smell? Is it something in your garden? I used to say, no, it's that Pittosporum, that Pittosporum tabayra growing on the corner over there. If left, this will grow into a small tree, but you can trim it back. It's evergreen, so it always looks super glossy and gorgeous like this all the way through the year. I do believe I'm right in saying it's got a lifetime guarantee, a hardiness guarantee. Well, if Stu checks and we haven't, then I'm going to look a bit of an idiot, but I'm pretty
Nothing
sure.
new there, then, eh, Adam? Oh, sorry, starting harsh early. I didn't mean it. I'm just joking, I promise. He likes it, really, I promise.
But, yeah, I don't care. I can take it.
He'll get me back later, don't worry.
But yeah, and it's a nice shaped shrub as well. It's got this sort of nice kind of what's a goblet kind of shape to it as it grows. As I say, you can clip it back if you want to as well. I mean, you can always keep this like a topiary kind of specimen if you want to, which looks good, or you could just leave it to grow into sort of a bigger and bigger shrub or a small tree.
I love how glossy it is.
It is super glossy.
It looks so healthy, doesn't it? It looks really, really beautiful.
We're not saying it's a winter hardy. There you go. Oh well. I kind of said I'd make myself look an idiot, and I just did, didn't I? So.
But you've experienced that these will get through a winter. Well, sometimes they get knocked back a little bit, but they recover.
They do, yeah. But I mean, to be fair, the one I saw growing in Chelsea, I mean, that is right in the middle of London. So you get, I mean, it's 4 or 5 degrees warmer there on average. So, and that one's very, very sheltered. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to give this a lifetime to say get through the sort of the coldest of winters, but I have seen them in lots of people's gardens, a bit like the oleanders we talk about, you know, sort of getting bigger and bigger in recent years. I would say if you're on the south coast, if you're on sort of a southwest area, that kind of area, and you've got like a really sheltered spot against the house somewhere like that, I would say you would get this through most winters. But you know, if you're worried about this not being super hardy in every winter in a colder area, make fantastic pot plants as well. So you can grow this in a pot, and just imagine when it flowers and it's smothered in that incredible, sweet, delectable fragrance.
Beautiful.
Japanese mock orange. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely divine.
And look, just check out the saving that we've got on this for you. I mean, we're saying up to 80 centimetres tall. I would suggest that this one is a little bit taller than that, and obviously wide as well. But we've given you a £15 saving on here. It's in that 5 litre pot. It's just £29.99 or £26.99 if you are in our discount club. This one is phenomenal, isn't it, really, to get this size of plant for that price. You go to a garden centre, you're obviously going to be paying up at the RRP, the £44.99, £50 for this plant. Yeah,
I mean, £50 for this plant, I would not be surprised to see this in some garden centres for £49.99, even £59.99 for a plant this size.
Yeah.
I mean, this is substantial, this plant. If, you know, at the moment you've got an area on a patio or decking or some you know, gap near the house at the moment, and you just want to fill it with something instantly, quickly, that's going to be glossy, evergreen, flowers, has fabulous fragrance, and you know, you're able to take it inside in the wintertime, or just, you know, you don't have to mollycoddle it in the wintertime. I mean, I would say, to be honest, I'll put my neck on the line here, I'd say this would go down to -1 or -2 or so. You know, if it gets down below the sort of -5, -6s, -7s, that's when it can sort of get badly knocked back. And I have seen these a little bit frosted back in other areas in the past, but a bit like when we talk about the oleanders, more often than not, when the warm weather comes, if you just clip them back to where the new shoots come, they regrow and they come back.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is really, really worth the effort to grow this because, say, it's a shrub with so many assets.
I think it's going to be totally worth it when you get you know, that beautiful fragrance from the flowers as well, isn't it? All right, 610034 is the item number. We had to start with it because it's an absolute. I mean, it's the biggest plant we are bringing you right here, and I just think the fragrance from that is going to be incredible. And we are offering you that large saving of £15 as well. Just make sure you use the offer code YGTV2424 so that you get that saving. I don't want you paying full price. We never want to pay full price. That's why we shop at YGTV as well. Quick good morning to a few people. I've got the chat again on YouTube. Stuart is monitoring the chat on Facebook, if you're watching us on Facebook. Dingo apparently has sent us some pictures. Good morning, Anne and Roger, who are on Facebook. Philip, you're on Facebook as well. Good morning. Let's see who's in YouTube. We've got Olwyn. Neil says he's going to be dipping in and out as usual on a Wednesday. Karen is there as well. Julia, good morning to you too. Grimmy, he says it's still sunny in Tenby. Lucky you.
Tenby. Oh, See, Tenby. Oh, no, that's South Wales, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Tenby's in Wales, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of somewhere in Cornwall, like a similar name to that. What am I think of?
I have no idea.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I love it when you go off on your tangents.
No, I was just thinking somewhere down in Devon, because I was about to say you could definitely grow that in that area, but yeah, move on. It's a slow start today.
Carrying
it's a slow
on,
burn. I'll get there in the end.
You're great, aren't you? Right, so yes, good morning to everybody. If you do have any questions, comments, anything you want to ask, then we are here to service those needs, basically. If you go onto the website, YouGarden.com, and you click into the Live Now section, you can scroll down and you can look at all of the plants that have been selected for this week's shows. If there's anything specific you want us to show, to talk about, then just send us an email, ygtv@yougarden.com. Here's the website, look. You just click into there. You scroll down, that's the live show, so you can watch that. And then you can scroll down, and this is the selection of things that we have for you today. Oh, I do love the Hypericum. Hypericum is the most beautiful thing. We've got Asters, we've got Gerberas, we've got the beautiful passion flower, we've got geum, we've got that gorgeous orange pumpkin geum. There's so many beautiful things for you to see today on our YGTV shows. Oh, and yes, the Chelsea pensioner. We're so excited about this one. This one was nominated for Plant of the Year. In fact, it was a finalist for Plant of the Year at the Chelsea Flower Show just this year. And of course, there is a donation involved in this as well that goes to the Royal Hospital, Chelsea. I think it's a stunning rose as well, isn't it? Look at how beautiful that gorgeous red colour is. We have a fantastic price as well. It is a brand new rose to market this year, and we've taken £10 off the price of that for you here at YGTV. So I think that is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, we've got lots and lots to show you. We're super excited. What we're going to do is bring you straight into our garden ready section, and this is... it's what we call our favourites table, and we've laid it out with the mostly garden readies here, because it's that time of year, isn't it? We want the garden ready plants in our garden right now,
yeah,
don't we?
we do. Because
I mean, obviously you're going to go for your perennials and stuff, but some garden readies is good.
Yeah, because we're kind of, 11th, 12th of June, something like that today already. So yeah, we want that colour now, don't we?
Yeah.
We just don't want to be waiting anymore. We've waited long enough. We want it instant now.
All right, well, we're going to start off with our Geranium Fire Queens, and I do love these. The bright red colour that you've got of Geranium Fire Queens are absolutely incredible. I've actually planted these myself this year. I got them as teeny tiny plugs earlier on in the year, but it's amazing how quick they grow, and the colour. I mean, the thing is, it's not just the flowers, is it? Because you get these beautiful bright red flowers, but you've got the gorgeous zonal leaves on here as well. This is my house. I think this was the video from yesterday I did this, when there was a little bit of sunshine in.
Because I saw you did picture those a few weeks ago, didn't you? So
yeah,
these are really, really... oh, is that your picotee up there?
Yeah, that's a picotee. I tried to get my little hanging basket in.
Yeah, love them. But no, Bex, they have come on so well, haven't they? And these are what I nicknamed the sort of Buckingham Palace geraniums, because, you know, there's that huge roundabout in front of Buckingham Palace, and they always have those beds there full of those fabulous, fabulous red geraniums. They just look so classic, so colourful, so sharp, and the redness of those blossoms against those leaves is absolutely fantastic.
Isn't it gorgeous? I mean, I love the scent that you get from them as well. Even the foliage smells absolutely glorious.
Everything
on
about
geraniums.
them. And that's your hated front door. You don't like that front door,
My hated front door.
That's your front door you don't like.
Boring white, needs replacing. But look how elevated that is. My hanging baskets. I've got my pots there with my little cypress ferns. I've got my lobelia. I've got my Geranium Fire Queens. You saw a little to the side. I've got my hostas and my ferns.
Nobody's looking at the door.
No, they're looking at the plants.
Looking at the plants. Look at those flowers. Look at that kind of interesting array there. All you need is something a bit white there, because you've got red.
Yeah.
You've got blue. I
feel like it needs breaking up a little bit, doesn't it?
You could do some white, couldn't you? Like you could do the Olympics, you could do the Euros kind of thing, couldn't you? Kind of like, yeah.
I don't know, I'll have to have a little think what I can put in there. Maybe get just a couple of little white lobelias, maybe. I don't know, we'll
that would be good.
But look, we've got our gorgeous Geranium Fire Queens here, and these are 10 garden-ready plants. Actually, we've got 2 packs out here, haven't we? We don't need 2 packs. I mean, look, if you want... I can't break it apart. If you want to go for 2, then absolutely go for 2 packs of these. It's well worth going for 2 packs of your Geranium Fire Queens because they're very versatile. The places you can put these, there's lots of different places.
And these, I wouldn't be surprised if we look on some of these, you might even see some little flower buds coming already, but within weeks, these are going to start flowering for you.
They happen really quickly. Once you get these planted, you will notice those flowers coming up so quick.
Well, we've got the super long days now, haven't we? Yeah, we've got the super bright light levels now.
Yeah.
And I know the weather's not been amazing, but it is going to warm up soon. And geraniums, once they get outside in the natural light, I can smell those from here.
They're so beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? And that, again, it's one of those smells that reminds me of my childhood as well.
It reminds me of my nan's.
Yeah, I know.
She always had them growing on the windowsill in her little conservatory bit, and the smell when you walked into the conservatory. As soon as I smell this, it transports me back there.
And don't you remember sort of back then as well, Bexy, when we had grandparents back then, they used to kind of almost leave them in those pots on the windowsills for year after year after year, and they'd get really tall and kind of leggy, wouldn't they? But even if it was December or January, this is indoors, by the way, they always had a flower on them, didn't they?
Yeah.
But these, I mean, these will flower for you this year, and there's no reason why at the end of the year, if you actually take these somewhere frost-free and bright, you can actually take these through the winter.
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do with those.
The following year.
I've put those into those small round pots, and I've done that specifically so that I can move them inside very easily. So in the winter, I'm going to move them into my conservatory, keep them in there, and bring them out again next year, which is exactly what you can do with these. A lot of people just grow them as annuals, particularly if you put them out in beds and borders. They don't tend to dig them up and bring them in frost-free then. But if you want to get them to come back next year, that's all you need to do.
And in recent years, not the year before last, but in sort of, last year and years before that, I've actually seen in some customers' gardens geraniums get all the way through the winter and start again. Admittedly, they were quite near a house and really, really sheltered.
Yeah.
But
depends where you live and what kind of winter we have. If it's a nice mild winter and it's they're close to the house, chances are you can leave them out and they'll get through. But if you want to be sure of it, then make sure you put them in pots and bring them indoors into a conservatory or greenhouse, frost-free basically. 410064 is the item number. 10 of our Geranium Fire Queens garden ready. Get them planted and within a few weeks you'll start seeing those lovely bright red flowers appear. Right, let's move on. Antirrhinums next. This is a mini butterflies mix. I've seen a lot of antirrhinums out at the moment.
Love
and they are gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah, I grew antirrhinums last year and they flower. I didn't, not this variety, but I grew another variety at home and they just flower for month after month after month. The bees and the pollinating insects absolutely adored them. All day, every day, the bees, the pollinating insects were sort of buzzing in and out. These are super gorgeous double flowered ones. Look at the colour mix there.
I know, wow, the colour mix is incredible.
You've stopped me in my tracks there, look. The
Sorry,
roots.
Adam, I've got to stop taking them out while you're in mid-sentence, haven't I?
Oh,
distracts you.
You've totally rooted me there. You've stopped me in my tracks.
It's a rooty beauty.
It is a rooty beauty. Oh, you know what we could do with that one, Bex, as well?
We can divide it.
Well, I was thinking on a top.
Oh, were you going to pinch it out?
Yeah, I was thinking.
You're so annoying with this.
We could do well.
But you're right. He is right. It delays. So pinch out the top. Where are you going to go to? Just down to here, or maybe a bit further?
I would go.
Yeah, that top bit.
There.
Oh.
And you don't have to do that.
You don't have to, but by doing it, you create branching, which means that you get more flowers ultimately. So you'll delay the flowering by a week or 2, but it means that you will get way more flowers by doing that. So it's well worth doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. You can not pick the top out and you'll get taller plants that are kind of slightly more slender on taller stems, or Blake, you can blame me for this. I'll put those out.
It's fine. I mean, listen, two packs, and we do think, look, you can go for 2 times 10. That's a pack of 10, which is what we've got on offer. If you want to go for 2 packs, then do that. And I think it's well worth it with everything that we've got out here at the moment, in actual fact, because they're going to give you beautiful colour this year.
And great gap fillers on those as well.
Totally.
So you can leave them to grow straight up. You don't have to pick the tops out if you don't want to. You'll get taller plants with kind of bigger flower spikes. But if you do pinch them out, you'll get more kind of slightly squat plants, which is better really because they don't need supporting, and you'll get sort of more stems but not such big flowers. So you make the choice really. It's completely up to you. Either way, they are going to look stunning. Either way, you're going to get this incredible mix of colours. Either way, these are going to flower their socks off all the way through until the autumn.
Yeah.
And what you do need to do, whether you pinch the top out or not, keep deadheading them. Once that main flower spike is finished, trim that flower spike off, you'll get side flower spikes come out, and they'll just keep repeat flowering. And they do actually have a nice fragrance to them as well. A lot of people don't realise that, but if you get sort of your nose up quite close to Snapdragons, they do have quite a sweet, almost kind of citrusy, lemony kind of orange kind of, fragrances really. Really nice.
Beautiful, yeah, a definite garden favourite, I think, and as Adam says, going to flower for absolutely ages for you, so well worth doing that pinching out. Even though you'll delay the flowering by a week or so, it does mean that you'll get more of them, and of course you're not missing out on too much because they will keep going for you. Saving £4 on that particular offer as long as you use the code YGTV2424. Your item number for your antirrhinums for your Snapdragons is 410048. Now we're going to visit the website next. Our price for 10 is $8.99. Remember, it won't show that price on the product page unless you have put the offer code into your basket. The reason that we've done that is, look at this. Look at the price for 20 of these. £19.98. Right, £8.99 times 2, £18, £17.98. That's going to be £2 cheaper than putting the 20 pack into your basket. So this is where shopping directly with YGTV really makes a difference. If you want the 30 pack, the 30 is a really good saving, admittedly. But whichever one you are getting, make sure you use our code YGTV2424 because you not only get all of the savings, but you also get the amazing free gift. It's our favourite free gift, particularly at this time of year because we need it now.
We do.
We're using it on I need to do mine. I need to get back out and do my plants. But I'm using mine. I'm trying to do a weekly basis. Mostly it's every 2 weeks. But I want to make sure I'm getting the best feed, the best flowers, the best production from my plants this year, and this is how I'm ensuring I'm doing that by using this.
And you don't panic, but fortnightly would probably be okay. So don't sweat it.
No, I know.
If you don't do it weekly,
I lapsed a lot last year. I didn't keep on top of it last year, so this year I really want to.
It is important as well because especially things that grow in tubs. This is going to be brilliant.
I've got a lot of containers.
Yeah, we know. You can see them from space. But the good thing about this particular fertiliser as well, it doesn't just have the NPK, the nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, it has the trace elements as well. So when you take multivitamins, you get things like iron and zinc and all those sort of extra, sort of trace elements. Well,
boron, copper, iron, manganese.
Manganese is great for stopping plants from yellowing and sort of going off colour. All these different trace elements, although they're in there in microscopic amounts, they are absolutely 100% critical to the health of a plant. So it really is the best liquid feed, and also liquid feed you can foliar feed the plants as well, so you can actually spray it over the top of the foliage, they'll absorb it through the leaves, but also because it's liquid it gets absorbed immediately into the roots, so you get that instant sort of hit for your plants.
Well, it's absolutely free. This is the thing to remember. As long as you put the code YGTV2424 into your basket when you place your order, you will get this packet absolutely free. It is worth $4.99. It's the 100-gram packet, and it will make 100 litres of this amazing feed. We recommend getting multiple packets of these, and the way to do that is to place multiple orders, and we'll give you ideas of how to do that throughout the show. We're here till 1 o'clock, by the way. We've got new plants for you tomorrow. We've got new plants for you on Sunday as well. We broadcast on a Wednesday and Thursday 10 till 1, and we also do 10 till 2 on a Sunday. It's great if you can join us live because we love the interaction. We love saying hello to you. We love getting all your pictures. But if you can't watch us live, I appreciate people have lives, they have jobs, they can't always be here for all 3 shows and do that live. You can watch us back. You can watch us back on YouTube, on Facebook and on the website because the shows are always there and always available. Right, let's move on, shall we? Because we've done our Geranium Fire Queens, we've done our antirrhinums, we are moving on to the Verbena quartz mix.
First thing to say about these ones as well is because I absolutely love Verbenas, and well...
Me too.
Yeah, and then I fell out of love with them because I was finding they were getting mildew.
Oh.
These ones are really
They're
mildew.
the F1 quartz.
Yeah, these are really mildew resistant. So I like to put that right in the start, because you remember years ago, a little while back, if we said to people about growing busy lizzies, and the first thing people think about,
no, I'm not doing that. Stay away from them.
They get all that mildew business. Well, because now we've got those mildew resistant ones. So if you worry about getting Verbenas because you've had that problems with mildew in the past, Doesn't happen with these ones. These are glorious, glorious mix of colours as well. You know, the purples, the whites, the reds, and I like the fact that some of them are kind of a solid colour, like this one here.
Yeah.
But then others have got that little kind of white eye in the centre.
Yeah, look at this one down the front. Look at that
That's
one.
great,
How you've got the lovely
That's...
kind of lighter outside, and then it's going to that darker bit in the centre.
That's really funky, isn't it?
I love those.
Yeah.
I think they're really pretty.
These are really cheerful, happy plants, and a bit like you were saying recently, Bex. I mean, sometimes we see these or think of these as filler plants in hanging baskets and places like that. But you know what? Bex came up with an idea a little while back and showed us a brilliant picture where Bex grew lobelia just in a pot on its own.
I love that, yeah.
Just try these in a pot on their own. You don't have to think of these as things you've got to stick between other plants in troughs or baskets or anything like that. So a sort of slightly raised pot, just planted up with these Verbena quartz in a nice sunny position, and just those pastel-y kind of colours and those sort of more stronger colours just blooming all the way through the summer. It's just going to look magnificent.
It really will. I do adore the Verbena quartz mix, and plus because they've got that resistance to the mildew, that is a fantastic thing. It's 410076 for this one. This one is a double up deal, so you can go for 10 of these if you want to, or you can double up and go for 2 of these packs for just £5 more. So £12.99 for 10, or for £5 more at £17.99 you can get 20 of those garden readies. Garden ready just means that it's a bigger plug. It's been grown on that little bit more. It's bigger, it's stronger, it's got a stronger, healthier root system, and it is ready to go in your garden, raring to grow.
Look at
that. Like you said, a pot of those.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is gorgeous, and all summer long you'll have those beautiful colours.
And just deadhead them. That's all you've got to do. When they're finished flowering, deadhead them. That'll just encourage more flowers to come. Use our liquid feed as well once a fortnight, or following the instructions. Again, that will keep those flowers coming. And I tell you what, these go right the way up until September, October, right up until the frosts. Really good.
410076 is the item number. Just make sure you use the offer code. And with a double up deal, you put 2 in your basket, by the way. So put 2 in, put the offer code in, and then you will see that saving come off your order. Right, a customer favourite, an absolute... it's always right up at the top of the list when it comes to customer favourites. You know, the number of these that we sell is absolutely incredible.
I've never heard of them.
You shut up. He's an idiot. So we see these. I mean, there's one of my neighbours just round the corner. They've got 2 hanging baskets of Begonia apricot shades, and it makes me smile every time I see them.
Oh, you know what?
They're beautiful.
They are, and every time I see these, they remind me of my brother as well. My brother Darren. Hi, Darren, if you're watching, because every year my bro grows hanging baskets of apricot shades, and he loves them. He loves them, loves them, loves them.
It was my nan's thing as well.
Yeah.
So she had this lovely guy. He was such a keen gardener, and she had window boxes all around on the walls, and it was always filled with apricot shades.
And they're just so easy, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, look, this year, I mean, goodness no, that was it. Forrest Gump said, "Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." Well, British summers are like a box of chocolates, aren't they? You never know what you're going to get. But that doesn't matter with apricot shades, because whether we get a hot, dry summer, whether we get a wet, windy, cool summer, apricot shades always perform. They're not fussy, but the fact that you're getting, and this is what's going out, Bex, isn't it? Yeah. This is the quality of what's going out.
I mean, these are incredible. Honestly, look at the size of them. Look at the flowers. Look at the foliage as well, because this is the beautiful thing about begonias. It's not just about the flowers, is it?
I mean, the foliage in itself is wonderful. And where I'm standing as now, and seeing the studio lights shine through the leaves as well.
Yeah.
They look good from sort of different angles. So I love these kind of irregular shaped triangular leaves with those nice sort of notched, etched edges there.
I love
Got
them.
the red stems, and then it's so incredible to get that mix of colours. I mean, you're sort of getting apricots, you're getting salmons, you're getting oranges, you're getting almost little hints of white here and there, you're getting yellow.
Yeah.
All those lovely, bright, summery sort of colours. And even on a grey day, when you see a hanging basket full of these, it's almost like they're emanating their own light. They kind of seem to create their own brightness. So
they're so beautiful, just planted like that as well. As I say, my neighbour has got 2 hanging baskets, and it's literally just apricot shades. They are so bright, so beautiful. beautiful, and they definitely draw your attention. You could mix other plants in there. You could put some other lobelia, or I don't know, some petunias and things in. But I think Begonia apricot shades just works gorgeously on its own.
I think I'll just leave them on their own. And,
Me too.
Another brilliant thing, they self-deadhead as well.
Yeah.
You don't need to, when the flowers are finished, they just drop off. So you don't even need to fiddle about deadheading them. Again, liquid feed them with our feed once a fortnight, or following instruction, because that will keep them flowering. And you can even keep them going through the winter as well. So if you've got, say, a hanging basket of apricot shades, after the first frost, when they go all black and horrible, just take that basket somewhere dry for the winter and frost free. Wait until the top growth just literally comes away from the top of the soil, and just leave them in that soil dry. Make sure the soil dries out through the winter in those hanging baskets. Bring them out next spring, water them, give them a little bit of warmth, and they'll regrow. They'll actually come back from those tubers under the ground. Yeah, they'll regrow.
You could dig the tubers up if you want to, couldn't you, and dry them?
Yeah, you could take them out of the compost and dry them if you want to. Because
that's what I'm going to do with mine, because I've got hanging baskets. I haven't got Begonia apricot shades, but I've got the Belgian giant ones, and I've got the standing up begonias. I've forgotten the name of them. Heaven Sent begonias. I've got the Heaven Scents up at the top. But I've also mixed in lobelias and the Petunia pickety. So what I want to do at the end of the season is, obviously, the petunias and the lobelias, they'll die off.
They'll go, yeah.
But then I'll take the tubers out, dry them, and then I can plant them again next year.
Or you could store them in sand if you want to. That's an option. Yeah. You can store them in, what's that? Was it perlite or something like that?
You need them to dry out, basically.
Yeah,
that's
you need them to dry out. So as long as they're kept dry and frost-free in the winter, they'll quite happily just sit dormant all the way through the winter. Next spring, replant them, give them some warmth, water them, and they'll come back again. And you can even divide them next spring. You can sometimes cut the tubers in half. Yeah,
it depends on the size of the tuber,
and then you can or even quarter them. Then you can get 4 plants for one.
These are genuinely, I promise you, a customer favourite, and for all the reasons Adam has said, weather resistant, don't even need a full sun position, and just reliable. You will reliably get good displays from your begonias. Pretty much doesn't matter what kind of weather we get over the summer. 410050 is the item number. You can go for 10 of the apricot shades, or you can double up and you can go for 20 of those garden ready plants. It's just £5 more to go for that double up deal. There is a 30 pack available if that's what you want. It's a bit like the Verbena that we showed you. There is a 30 pack if you want those. Just go onto the website and you can have a little look. We need to go back to the anti-rhinos.
What I love about, I know we're going to anti-rhinos, but I love about the begonias as well is the fact that they're going to be flowering out of the box when you get them home. Yeah. Just instant. Yeah. Straight away.
Straight away, you don't have to wait. This time of year I am impatient. I'm happy to put my planning in earlier on, but right now I'm impatient. I want colour, I want flowers, I want them now. And that's what you're going to get with those ones. Right, we're bringing you back to the anti-rhinums. Are these really busy, Stu? Is that why? Yeah, these are really, really busy. I love that. I thought you might like these ones. Anti-rhinum, mini butterflies mix. Some people are actually going for the 30 pack on these. That's how popular these are. Thank you so much for using our code YGTV2424. Remember, by doing that, you get some saving, but you also get the free gift included in your basket. And you're going to need it. It's our Blooming Fast Superior Plant Food. £4.99 worth of absolutely free gift. Makes 100 litres. Anti-rhinums are, they're also known as Snapdragons, aren't they? That's what people probably know them as.
But these double ones are just really stunning. I've
Delightful,
seen these flowering before. I'm going to be honest, I've not grown these myself, but I have seen them in customers' gardens. Yeah. I've seen them in displays in parks and places like that. And anti-rhinums are just such good doers. I mean, they flower and flower and flower and flower. They're liked by the pollinating insects generally. And the colour mix on this is just phenomenal. I just love the yellow, the white, the pinks, the kind of the reds. And it's almost a bit counterintuitive, really, because you'd sort of think somehow those sort of colours wouldn't go together, but they do. They just really sit nicely together, those colours, and they just make such a riot of colour. And look at the root system on that. I mean, that is such a super, super healthy plug plant. Get these in the ground within 2 or 3 weeks. These will start flowering, and you've got 2 options with these. Plant them exactly as they are. They'll grow straight up, and you might get 1 or 2 flower spikes on the top with some little side spikes. And they'll get, not that tall, I mean, not mine, but the ones I've seen growing get to about 12, 15 inches tall, that sort of height, so they're not really, really tall plants. Yep. But if you wanted to, you could just pick or pinch out the very top of each plant.
Just down to the next sort of pair of
next pair
buds,
of leaves. And that will multi-branch that plant then. So it'll be slightly shorter than before. You'll get more flower spikes, but they won't be quite as big as if you didn't pinch out the top. But either way, they'll still look stunning. They'll still flower for month after month, and they'll go right up until the autumn.
Yeah.
It's just the frost, really, that kind of stops them flowering eventually. But they're just such bright, cheery, happy, sort of beautiful plants. That's what I like about them.
So front of borders is a good place for them. You could do a pot filled with your antirrhinums. You could put these into window boxes, particularly if you're going to pinch out as well, because it'll just keep them that little bit shorter.
All those positions,
Lots of different places that you can put your Snapdragons. 410048 is the item number. It is busy. We've had to come back to that one. So get those ones added into your basket. 10 garden-ready plants with a £4 saving on there. What
I would just do, quick for you, you see you've got the antirrhinums there. I would get a nice big pot, put some of those in the middle of a pot, and then I'll plant around with the Verbena quartz mix, because you look at the two sets of colours there. I think those two sets of colours would mix and match really well. Yeah, those two.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They'd look really nice with the Verbenas underneath. It should be shorter and kind of cascade a little bit, and then the height of the Snapdragons or the antirhinums in the middle.
Sounds good.
It'd be really pretty.
Well, there you go. There's a little serving suggestion for you if you want to add both of those into your basket. We're going to jump over now, and we're bringing you to, I'll get my words out, I promise, the Clematis, the little lemons, because I'm quite excited. I mean, I've grown Clematis, and we love Clematis. It's, it's a nice big grower. It'll cover sheds and fences, and it'll do it quite vigorously, and we love it. But this is super cute, isn't it? This is nice and small. This is like a little pot plant.
This is really, really different, because Clematis tangutica, in a garden, if you've grown Clematis tangutica, oh my goodness me, they go berserk. I mean, the normal kind of tangutica, if you cut them down to about that height in spring, they will easily grow 8, 9, 10 foot in one season, and just masses of stuff all tangled up, and which is dramatic and full of flowers, but it's not always convenient, is it? If you haven't got that space.
Especially if you've got a smaller garden, I mean, I often say this when we've got these smaller plants, but they do work for every garden, but particularly if you've got a smaller garden. Small spaces. We always talk about how we've got something for everybody. It's gardening for everyone at YouGarden, and we believe in that. We try and bring you a range of plants and flowers and things that will fit into a small garden, a massive garden, a medium-sized garden. This one is definitely for those smaller gardens,
Well, it's my example I always give. If you live 3 floors up
on a balcony,
and you just got a balcony, ordinarily you wouldn't. Well, you could just grow one tangutica and nothing else, because there wouldn't be any space. Now you can enjoy tangutica. You can enjoy that type of Clematis. This only gets about 40 centimetres tall. How divine is that? I mean, that just looks wonderful, doesn't it, in that pot, just sort of growing up. I might, probably what I would do, I would probably put just a little framework around it in that pot, just a few little twigs or something like that, for example, just to give it a little bit of support when it grows up. But to be able to enjoy those wonderful yellow flowers for a long period of time.
I love how they, the shape of them as well. They've got this lovely sort of little nodding aspect to them.
Like a
little
tax cap,
bonnets.
kind of.
Yeah, like that. And then they sort of just gently open out, don't they?
They do,
it's really
they sort
pretty.
of face down, and then the petals reflex backwards at the bottom, and you've got that really, really lemony yellow colour to them as well, which looks incredible. So, if you've always wanted to grow Clematis, but you've really, really limited for space, well, you can now grow this type of tangutica in something like what Bex has got here, for example. That would be absolutely perfect.
It would be perfect. There's loads of cobwebs on this, by the way.
Yeah, as long as there's no spiders in there.
We haven't brought it in for a while. But yeah, I've got one of these, which I'm growing one of the Boulevard Patio Clematis on. It's beautiful, by the way. But this would be absolutely perfect to plant that in, because it just, not that it needs massive amounts of support, but this would be a lovely kind of support.
I mean, if you imagine, you kind of got that, you just get that into the kind of the centre of here, then, that would grow up really, really quick in there, and it will just give it that little bit of support, because although this is quite a squat kind of plant, 40 centimetres high, if you're in a kind of a windy position, or we get lots of rain and stuff like we have, it might kind of sort of try and topple over a little bit.
I know what you mean. Just gives it something to hold on to,
just gives it something to sort of grip onto. And I just think this would be absolutely divine for that, because the sort of the colour of the framework of this against the lovely lemon yellow of those flowers.
I love it. Do you know what? It's something a bit new, a bit different, and every time we bring you something a little bit new and a little bit different, you vote with your purses and with your wallets. They do tend to be the most popular plants that we bring you, and this one is one of those new and different ones. The Clematis Little Lemons. It's got a £4 saving on there. It's just £8.99, or £8.09 if you're in the club. Pair it up with our Eclipse planter if you would like to. It's entirely up to you. 550-222 is the item number. Just please make sure you're putting in the offer code, because that's where you're going to get that £4 saving. It's also going to give you your plant food as well, which is your free gift for today.
There's some big lemons there.
Sorry. Some big lemons in there.
Big
You're
lemons,
a big lemon. Look at you.
You got a little lemon, but there's a big lemon. Don't get that big. It'd be nice if they did.
Yeah, this is, by the way, this is the free gift that I was talking about. 100 litres that bag is going to make. It's normally £4.99. I've stockpiled on these to try and get me through the summer, because I'm on it with the feed.
It's proper fertiliser. It's not rubbish fertiliser.
It's proper stuff.
It's not just NPK. It's got everything that plants need. That's the thing. It's got all the trace elements as well. So it's kind of, really, really... Where are we going to?
We're going here.
I'm going here. Right, I'll stop here. It just gives plants everything they need, all the trace elements as well. So you're not going to get sort of yellowing of the leaves or all those kind of other problems that you get when you're only just giving the basic feed. Right,
we're bringing you back to our mock orange, because this has been super popular so far. And do you know what? I can see why. Check out the price, £20.99. This is part of our we've got this whole new range of statement plants. They're phenomenal. I've seen them. They're all out there and in that over there, and they look absolutely amazing. And this is one of them, the Pittosporum tabira. It is huge, up to 80 centimetres tall. It's in the 5 litre pot, and we've got a £15 saving on this one for you if you use our code YGTV2424. This one does have a slightly higher postage cost attached to it. You can see why. Look at the size of it. It's got an £8.99 postage attached to it. However, if you get your order to over £40, we will get rid of that postage cost for you. Just use the code YGTV2424. You only need a couple of other things in your basket to get that basket to over £40, and then you will get this big beauty delivered direct to your door with no postage cost attached at all.
And for $59.99, I think that's a really, really good price.
It's not though, is it?
Yeah, but that's
it's
what
not
I'm
though, is it?
But I've got a garden centre down the road from me, and I know for a fact that this would be £50–60 in that garden centre, because this is a real statement plant. This plant is evergreen. This plant has got a lovely sort of goblet-shaped habit. This plant has wonderful white flowers, and I tell you what, it has one of the most divinely sweet, gorgeous, beguiling fragrances of any shrub I've ever come across. It's really, really knockout. I said to earlier on the example to you where we used to create gardens at the Chelsea Flower Show. We was always in this area called the Plateau, or Ranelagh Gardens, and there was a large one of these that grew there. And oh my goodness me, on a warm day, the fragrance in this was amazing. People kept saying, "What's that in your garden that smells so fantastic?" No, it's not our garden. It's that shrub over there, that Pittosporum tabira. Now in London, it's funny enough, because we're going to bring you the Chelsea Pensioner Rose later on.
Yes, we are.
And this the one I'm talking about grows in the grounds of the Royal Chelsea Hospital. So, and it is milder there. I mean, in winter time, it's a good 4 or 5 degrees milder than normal. So that does get through winter times there. In more exposed areas, I would grow this in a pot. So if you get really cold winters, you can just keep it away from the worst of the really cold weather. But I mean, if you've down on the south coast, southwest, you've got a nice south or west-facing area in your garden against a wall that's nice and sheltered, you could probably get it through most winters. But it is worth just that extra little bit of fuss to get it through winter, because just the drama of this plant, the foliage, the flower, the fragrance is phenomenal. Yeah,
I love it, and you are loving it as well. Thank you so much for placing your orders and using our offer code YGTV2424. That's how you're going to get that stonking £15 saving. And I just want you to think about how much you would be paying for this if you go into... I'm sorry, I keep putting down garden centres. I love garden centres. I love going there for coffee and cake. That's it though, and to wander around and get some ideas. I then come back here to use my offer codes, to use my discounts that I get from being a member of our awesome discount club, because that's where I can, you know, shop a little bit more. I don't have loads of money to spend.
But see, the difference here, Bex, is this, you know, we are the supplier and it's going direct from us, the supplier, to you. Whereas when you go to a garden centre,
it's come from the supplier
to the garden centre.
Yeah, everyone's got to make a bit of money.
Everybody's adding a little bit on, aren't they? And then you get to buy it. I mean, it was like early in the year we were selling those Edgeworthias, Edgeworthia chrysanthemum, for that winter flowering shrub. I think we were selling for about 30 quid, and I went to a garden centre near me and I was going to get another one because I lost one. And they were 99.99 for the same plant. So that's why I can see this in some garden centres. I'm not going to mention the name, but I know of in my head, would not hesitate to charge $59.99 for a plant of this stature and size and unusualness as well, because this is quite an unusual shrub.
Yeah, well, not here. It's £29.99. 610034 is the item number if you would like to add that one into your basket. Just having a little look to see who's in the chat. There's loads of people saying hello. Some people saying they've got some deliveries due. Been at it from 8 a.m, going to take a break. Coffee and toast time. Sounds good, Olwyn. Coffee and toast.
That sounds nice. What are you going to have on it? Marmalade?
Didn't eat breakfast this morning. That's going to make me hungry. East Coast Tropical. Good morning, everybody. Very wet and cold here. Yes, it's a bit cold here as well, but we'll keep going. We'll just keep going. It's only June.
It's only June.
Who cares?
It's only June.
It's only June.
It'll warm up by October.
Apparently, somebody sent a picture of their puppy. Is it Karen? Malcolm sent a picture of his puppy. For some reason, I can't see it. Maybe the iPad is just being a little bit slow. I'm going to keep an eye out because you know how much I like to see all the little furry helper pictures.
Oh, I love puppies. And don't puppies always smell gorgeous?
Smell like biscuits.
Oh, they smell lovely.
They smell like digestive biscuits.
Yeah, when we had our little Dachshund puppies, it's like, oh, you smell so gorgeous.
All right, well, I can't wait to see the puppy picture. We'll come to that in a second. Right, shall we show you some more plants? Because we've got some more deals, some more offers for you. Where do you want to go, Stu? Do you want to go to the baskets or the oleanders? Oleanders first. Right, so we had the deal on the red one last week. We still have that deal available for you, but this time we're going to talk to you about the Oleander Shades of Pink deal. Now, we had this previously on a buy one, get one free. So it was £29.99. You could buy one and you could get one absolutely free. We've bettered it. This is the best deal we've ever done on oleanders. Right now, what we're doing is we've cut it in price. Half price, $14.99, and we've added it onto a double up deal so that you can get the second one for £5 more. So this now works out as £10 per plant, which I absolutely adore.
Mad.
It gives us options, doesn't it? Some people don't want to, so maybe you just want the one. The buy one, get one free wouldn't have worked for you if you just wanted the one, would it? Because you'd still be paying the full price for it. Now you can choose to have one for half price at $14.99, or if you want the pair, you can get another one for just £5 more. Love the fact that we've given you those options. 680027 is the item number. Put 2 in your basket. If you want that double up deal, enter the code and then you will get that amazing saving. There they are on the nursery, look. Absolutely ready to be added into your basket and delivered direct to your door. And these are phenomenal. They flower for ages, don't they?
They do flower for month after month after month. And of course, they remind you of those sort of super tropical places you go on holiday. And I almost kind of want to nickname these kind of the British holiday maker plant, really, because this is day one and it's the British holiday maker, and that's day 2 on the beach, isn't it? So, you know, start off pink, end up like bright red, kind of on the sunbed. But yeah, these just bring back the memories, don't they, of going on holiday, going abroad. They're one of the first things you see when you come out the airport, get onto the coach. These and bougainvilleas, they just create a mood and ambience and excitement. They're happy, cheerful plants, and the quality of these plants is phenomenal. Mostly we're finding you get 3 groups of 3 stems in each pot. These are grown from cuttings. They've got leaves all the way down to the base. They've got that super glossy foliage. You've got flower buds on there. You've got flowers on there already. These plants are stout, healthy, really vibrant plants. And look at the root system. These haven't just been potted up just last week or a couple of weeks ago. These have been established for you properly, so you can get these to grow on into those slightly bigger pots. You could leave them in these pots if you wanted to, just for this year, and just put those in pot covers if you didn't want to sort of pot them on straight away. We say they're hardy down to about -5, and as they get bigger, they become hardier. And in recent years, just travelling around different gardens and places, I'm seeing oleanders get through more and more British winters and get to sort of larger and larger sizes. But yeah, these are knockout. Absolutely knockout.
Come from a Sicily breeder, we always talk about this because it's really important. If you find oleanders for sale here, they're pretty much coming from us, whatever avenue that is, because it became really difficult to import these things, didn't it, a little while ago?
Yeah.
But we have this license to do this. We work with the best grower in Sicily. Our head gardener is super proud of this relationship that we've got with them because there is a wait list to work with that particular supplier. 10-year waiting list. Now, we joined that queue years ago. We now work, I think we had to wait 2 years at the time, but we work with that supplier, and that's why we have this special license to be able to bring these into the country. And they are stunning, and the price that we've got for you is amazing. It's a perennial, it's evergreen, it'll flower for ages, and my favourite thing to say about a plant, thrives on neglect. Pretty much just leave it alone. I mean, a bit of deadheading is going to help, isn't it? But other than that, you can pretty much just leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, you could, once sort of one of the main kind of flower spikes is finished, you could trim that off completely. And then what I found with these, then they send out little side shoots that then continue to flower.
Yeah.
When you plant these in your garden, plant them in the hottest, sunniest, brightest, most sheltered spot if possible. You know, you could even have these as a conservatory plant through the summer.
Yeah, I love that idea, yeah.
They'd be okay in a conservatory. Not so much in the winter time because they might get mealybug or red spider, but in the summer in a nice airy conservatory they would do really, really well. But you know, in the winter time, if you're in a really, really cold area, you've got them in a pot, you can just put them somewhere frost-free. They don't have to be warm, like super warm, just a degree or so above freezing. As long as they've got some light and you let them sort of dry out a little bit, keep on the dry side, they'll get through the winter. Outside, you can always put fleece around them as well to protect them, a good 5 or 6 layers of fleece. But the value on these is phenomenal. The joy, the colour, the excitement, the atmosphere that oleanders bring is fabulous. Whenever I put them in my garden, instantly it just gives my garden a whole new kind of different feel.
Love it, yeah. 680027 is the item number. If you do want to go for 2 of those, you put 2 into your basket. Then you put the code in, YGTV2424. There's a box normally on the right-hand side where you place the order on the website. It says, do you have an offer code? That's where you put in YGTV2424, and that's where you'll see the saving. If you don't put the offer code in and you put 2 in your basket, you'll pay full price for both of them, or you'll pay $14.99. They're normally $29.99 each. So you're getting it half price first of all, and then when you add the second one into your basket, you're just getting that second one for £5 more, which is just incredible value. If you only want one, might as well add the second one into your basket anyway and give it to somebody as a gift. You know, if you're going to see somebody and it's their birthday, or you just want to give them a just because present, and you would normally be going and buying them a bunch of flowers, which I love. I love getting a bunch of flowers every now and then. That's nice, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But you'll spend £20, £25 on a really decent bunch of flowers. If you do the double up deal, that second one has cost you £5, and they're going to have that in their garden every year, year after year after year. The value of that is absolutely incredible. So put 2 in your basket if you want to go for that double up deal.
It sounds cheesy, it is that cheesy saying, isn't it? But it is the gift that does
keep on giving. Yeah,
it
totally.
Really does. A bunch of flowers is gone in, what, 7-10 days?
Yeah.
These just keep flowering and flowering
Years
and flowering.
Years. Now, of course, we do have the same deal available on the red, which if I bring that up, actually, because it gives you a really good contrast between the pink and the red. You can see the difference there. So you've got that lovely kind of soft, lighter pink, and then you've got this gorgeous deep, because I'm not saying it's scarlet red, it's not. It's got more of a pinky tinge to it, but it's a deeper colour. So if you want to go for the red, we have exactly the same deal available for you. Now, moving on to something that is a beautifully scarlet, bright red, we're going to talk to you about the rose, the Chelsea pensioner. But first of all, we're going to just hear from the people at Harkness. It's Philip, actually, at Harkness.
Hello, I'm Philip Harkness. I'm Managing Director of Harkness Roses. We've been growing roses since 1879. Breeding new roses is a passion, and it's one that's bitten me really hard. Rose breeding is a long-term process. From the time we start to the time we have something we can market takes us 7 or 8 years. And all the best new ones we are introducing at Chelsea Flower Show. And we believe we were actually present at the first Chelsea Flower Show over 100 years ago. The 6 or 7 or 8 year process of breeding a new rose, it starts with cross-pollination. We have something like 30,000 unique new roses every year. We're only interested in the ones which are showing a forward development, something different, something new, something exciting. First year is the pollination, the second year is the seedling plant, third year we see that plant outside for the first time. And that's where the real testing begins. There's so much to look for: perfume, colour, flower shape, flower form, how long it flowers for. We look at all these things. We look at them for 3 years or 4 years out of doors. Our key in this process is to provide you, the gardener, with a rose plant that is really easy to grow. On our trials since 1994, we have used no fungicides. So any rose we put out onto the market has to have a good basic disease resistance. New roses have won awards in Japan, New Zealand, UK, Poland, Denmark, Holland, USA. I can go on. I started doing our Chelsea exhibit when I was 22 years old, and the first 18 years I won a gold medal doing it. Looking after roses is really easy. Think of them as people, because I want to be a happy rose that's having loads of flowers. I want to make you happy, and you just have to do a little bit to me. Treat me as you treat a person, with kindness, with love, with care, and I will respond. Roses are fantastic garden shrubs. They can live for 30 years. It depends how much love you give them.
It's fascinating, isn't it? I mean, I've read up a lot, obviously, on Harkness roses, but to breed a new rose, it can take 7, 8, 9 years. And the thing is, what they do is they put them in a completely non-controlled environment when it comes to diseases and pests and things. And then it's only the best ones, the most resilient ones that make it through that testing process that are then selected to be released. It's a fascinating process, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I mean, well, that was my first job when I left school. I worked for a rose growers when I left school, and it was really a real eye-opener to see what goes into developing a rose, breeding a rose, creating a rose. Yeah, it's phenomenal, really. And
all that work over so many years before it even sees us, real people, customers, people that are going to buy it. There's so much that goes into it.
Because sometimes, you can lay out like 1,000 roses that, on the face of it all look the same. And then you get the odd rose that will have like a sport or some kind of genetic change to it.
Yeah.
And that can just give it the edge above all other roses.
Yeah.
It might be it's got more glossy foliage, it might be it flowers more, it might be it's got more disease resistance. And if you can then keep breeding that rose and those features stay true, i.e., in all the new plants they keep going, then suddenly you stumbled onto something totally and utterly amazing.
I think it's stunning, honestly. This one is the Chelsea Pensioner Rose. So what it does is, and you can see, look at the buds that are about to break open on here. What this does is it breaks open into the most beautiful, vivid scarlet red. It mirrors those jackets that the Chelsea Pensioners wears. And each one of these roses can have up to 50 petals as well, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, look at that, Bex.
It's stunning.
It is absolutely stunning. I mean, it is a really, really, really wonderful rose. Super healthy foliage. It's what's called a hybrid tea rose as well. So you get these, what I call like Valentine's Day kind of flowers on these lovely straight stems.
So it's one flower on a lovely strong
lovely strong stem. So you could use these for cut flowers if you wanted to as well, and it will keep repeat flowering. It's remontant. So once
remontant, I've not heard that word before.
That just means repeat flowering.
Lovely.
So once it's finished flowering, you just go down the stem, cut above an outward facing leaf, and then it will reshoot and it will give you another flower another 3 to 4 weeks later.
So we can see that here actually, if I show you on this one. So this would be a perfect place to cut this, wouldn't it? We've got an out, slightly lower yet. Here we go. Look, we've got an outward facing leaf here. So if we were to cut that just above that leaf join there, that would be the perfect place to cut that.
And what you'll notice, within a week, you'll see a little red shoot come out. Within 2 or 3 weeks, that will get, sort of grow away. You'll see a bud on that, and that will encourage that rose to keep flowering. It's sort of got a good disease resistance, this rose as well. So it's just an absolutely amazing rose.
And a beautiful scent as well. It's not a strong scent. It's what they would call a medium scent on this one.
Yeah. But I mean, it does have that fragrance. But I mean, for me, I think you've had to sort of categorise it. Some roses you would say fragrance first, the kind of type of the flower or the beauty of the flower second. I think I would reverse it on this one. So
totally.
the impact of the flower is unbeatable. It's phenomenal. It is absolutely stunning. The fragrance is also nice, but it's really the visual of this rose.
It's voluminous, really, isn't it, with the amount of petals that you're getting on each and every one of those. And of course, with the Chelsea Pensioner Rose, there is a £2.50 donation that will go to the Royal Hospital Chelsea, which is where the lovely Chelsea pensioners live, where the Chelsea Flower Show happens, in actual fact. It's a beautiful place, and I loved going there last year. I was gutted I couldn't go this year, but next year I'm going. I don't care what work is happening. Because going next year.
The good thing when you do gardens at Chelsea as well is during the build-up, the Chelsea pensioners come round.
Yeah.
And they talk to you while you're building up the garden. Lovely. You get to take pictures with them, and it's brilliant. It's really amazing.
Apparently they were singing at the launch of this flower. This one was nominated. It was a finalist for Plant of the Year at the Chelsea Flower Show just this year, and it was released, wasn't it? It was launched at the Chelsea Flower Show, so it's a real special one. And we've got an amazing deal for you today. We've got a £10 saving here. Now I know this went out in email offer earlier on because I received that email. We have matched that email offer, so you can still buy it here with all your other bargains that we bring you at YGTV. But the difference here is that you will also get your free gift included when you enter the code YGTV2424. Your roses are going to love this as well. I feed my roses with this one.
Definitely use that for roses as well, because roses are quite hungry plants as well, and they do like those trace elements. So it just keeps that. Just keep that rose with that super glossy foliage. It will keep it flowering all the time. Oh, and just one bit of advice on roses.
What you spotted?
This one might be this one's fine actually. It's always important when you get the little sort of
the join.
Yeah, the join at the base. That little kind of the union at the base there. It's always important to make sure that's just an inch or half inch below the surface.
Yeah.
These are exact height they're meant to be in the pot. But if yours the union bit at the bottom, if it's slightly proud of the soil in the pot, just make sure you put it slightly below soil level when you plant it.
There you go. Lovely top tip, thank you very much. 531104 is the item number for your Chelsea Pensioner Rose. It's a stunner, it's a beauty. Think about adding that one into your garden. I need to find some more space. I want a new garden. Because I want a rose garden.
How about that in the pot with the red geraniums underneath?
Oh.
Be good, wouldn't it?
A lot of red, I love it.
That'd be really good.
No, I love it. It's a great idea.
Well.
Right, we're going to move on to one of my absolute favourites, and in actual fact it's such a favourite of mine that I bought this for my lovely friends who just got married. This was their wedding present from me to them because they're ace. And these are acers. And they last a lifetime, don't they? You know, they don't take a huge amount of looking after, but with a tiny bit of care, these are going to last a lifetime, and that's why I thought it was an appropriate and lovely wedding gift. Plus, you know how much I love an acer, and you're getting 3 absolutely gorgeous ones in here. The colour combinations are incredible, with the emerald lace, the orange dream, and that beautiful burgundy atropurpureum. It's a stunning, carefully curated collection.
It is, Bex, as well, because on these you've got a slightly different leaf shape on all of these as well, and then you've got the different foliage colour. I mean, even now, we're in coming up to mid-June, and even now all 3 of these have got distinctly different coloured foliage. The one you've got there has got the more sort of dark greener colour.
Well, this is the emerald lace, so you've got these lovely dark greens, but it does have a colour changing thing that happens to it, and you get some sort of lighter coloured greens in there as well. But it's got the perfectly dissected leaves, which is what I adore. It's one of my favourites, basically. I love the dissected leaves on the
That's when I know
acers.
you're going to love an acer, because...
if it's got the dissected leaves, I'm a happy girl.
Yeah, because we have had some other acers, and you've been really honest. We've had other acers on the show, and because they've not had those really dissected leaves, you're like, that's not an acer for me.
They're not my faves. They're not my faves. I love them, but they're not my faves.
Yeah, that dissected leaf does look incredible.
Having said that, when we go on to the orange dream, I know it's not orange yet, but it will be, and this has it's sort of dissected, but it's more the maple leaf style.
Yeah,
love these as well.
Not as intensely dissected as the one before, but you can see the new leaves at the top there, definitely kind of more orangey colour as they come out as well.
Well, it has a colour changing thing with the orange dream. It starts off, you get the fresh foliage coming through that lovely green colour, and then it turns into those gorgeous shades you can see on the picture here.
Look at that.
Beautiful shades you get with those.
And then the red one there, which is, again...
Well, I love the atropurpureum. I mean, like I was saying, with those 3 colours, look at the board, look at the pictures on the board and the different colours that you're getting there. If you planted these in a similar location near each other, the colours, the contrast that you're getting from all of those plants is incredible.
And the thing to point out as well, that's not autumn. That's not autumn colour. That is what they look like in the summertime. So you're going to get that even, because we always think of acers, don't we, having the most spectacular colour in the autumn. But,
and they do.
And they do. And these will also have, different colours in the autumn as well, but they still look spectacular together in the summer with those contrasting foliage colours.
Yeah, and it's £19.97 for all 3 of those, and you can pay £15 for one of those, and that's a conservative price, to be perfectly honest with you. So £19.97 means that you are getting a £25 saving. That is brilliant on all 3 of these. As I say, they last a long time. They can last you absolutely decades. Don't take much looking after either, do they?
No, not really. I mean, the best place to plant acers, they like sort of quite a damp, cool kind of area. They don't want to be in a windy spot. They don't want full sun because they get frazzled, but they're ridiculously hardy. I mean, you think of the parts of the world they originate from, China, Japan, that part of the world. They can go through very, very, very cold, bitter cold winters, but they're absolutely fine. And they're just great plants to combine with things like ferns and hostas. And we've actually got a fabulous fern collection coming up for you today as well that will look really magnificent, planted in association with this acer collection.
Yeah.
So you can create that kind of mood. Just sort of get, find a little sort of cool, damp corner, plant the acers, plant the ferns, find some old mossy logs, perhaps find some old mossy stones and kind of put them underneath.
Some lovely little statues to put around.
Perhaps create a little water feature.
A lovely calming area in the garden. That's what your acers will be able to do
zen
for you.
Kind of area,
yeah,
couldn't
totally.
you? It'd be really nice.
510134 if you'd like to add the acer collection in there. Remember, that's a big saving of £25, so it's well worth thinking about going for that one today, whether it's for you or maybe, like I did, get them as a gift for somebody special. Next, we're moving on to our geums. Now, I love a geum. I absolutely adore a geum. I've got a few planted in my garden. I don't have this one, and I want this one because you've got these lovely balls, bright orange balls at the top of these.
They're kind of like big pom-pom kind of flowers on these as well, aren't they? Yeah, you can understand why they come up with the name pumpkin, because they've just got that kind of big sort of pumpkin head kind of looking flower on the top there. And the good thing about geums is they're such neat, well-behaved plants. They have this rosette of leaves at the base there, which look really, really good. And the leaves tend to be sort of reasonably ground-hugging as well. They don't really get higher than about sort of 5 to 6 inches, the leaves. But then they send up these very erect stems, nice, rigid, strong stems as well, with these clusters of flowers on top that flower for a long, long, long period of time. And again, just, I say again a lot, don't I? With my experience, I'm going to try not to say again a lot, but I bet I will. With my experience over the years, I've found if you cut the initial flowers off after they're finished, quite often they will send out some more spikes of flower.
I've noticed that just with geums in general. I go around a dead head and it will throw out some more. What I really want to do is plant these geums near my Ericium, my bowls mauve, because I just love the purple and orange colours together. Colour. They're really good sizes, so similar size that these are going to grow to. So I think those sort of around the bowls mauve would just look absolutely incredible. So yeah, I think I might be adding those in. I'm sure I can find a little space because I've got the Geranium Roseanne next to the bowls mauve, and I feel like I need something in the middle to break it up a little bit because I've got sort of purples together. That would be the perfect one. 561211 is the item number. 3 9cm pots. Check out that rooty beauty, raring to grow in your garden. Just get those added into your basket, and it is. Yeah, it's a half-price deal. We've taken £15 off the price of that one for you. So that one is also a brilliant deal.
Fabulous
and those
plants.
will come back year after year. They're really hardy, very reliable, very tough little plants, those ones.
And I've seen those grow in full sun, and I've also seen them grow in quite shady areas as well. They're really adaptable, not fussy about soil. Yeah, just plant them, leave them.
My geums are in sort of most shades. They get some sun, they can't live in full shade, but mine are in the shadier borders and they do beautifully there.
Yeah, they're really adaptable, very easy to grow, very pleasing plants.
All right, let's move on to some more beautiful summer flowers for you, and we're going to talk to you about hanging baskets, and these are the Petunias. The Easy Wave, I think, is what we're calling these. I've got some gorgeous colours included, but let me tell you the prices here. It's £24.98, and you will get both both of those hanging baskets. They're 25 centimetres, so they're a really nice size. These are ones that you can use next year as well. But the idea here is that as these grow and trail, you're not going to be able to see the pots at all, are you?
What?
And you could even consider these to be a little bit patriotic, couldn't you? They're a bit red, white and blue.
Well,
if you're into the football, I'm not really, but my husband is a cameraman. Camera operator, to be politically correct, and he's out there at the minute filming the football, or it might be to do with the Olympics, which is also coming up. He'll be filming that out in Paris as well soon. So yeah, maybe you want a bit of the red, white and blue theme going on for the sporting events that are happening this summer, then yeah, this would be a great one. You're right, Stuart, I am not going to see him until August. No, he does come back, so he's away in Germany for 5 weeks nearly, and he does come back in the middle. I think I've got about 4 or 5 days, and then he disappears to Paris for 2 weeks. See you later! And so it'll be August by the time I actually properly see him. Who cares, right?
It'll be lovely and hot and sunny and blue days.
By the time he comes back.
Yeah, and you can enjoy the rest of the summer together.
I love your optimism.
Meals
I'm
out in the
all
garden
for that
every night,
optimism, Adam.
Surrounded by all your 3, 4, 5 foot high dahlias and all your
The dahlias are looking amazing.
and all your other zillions of
I'm so excited about my
geraniums and
garden this year.
and your tower pots with your what?
Sweet peas.
No, the lily thing you grow.
Oh,
What do you call it?
what's it called? Flame lily.
Flame lily.
Gloriosa.
Yeah,
Thank
flame
you.
lilies. Yeah, it's going
The
to be
sweet peas are
magnificent.
flowering, the gloriosa's going.
That's
I
it.
planted the skyscraper lilies in a pot. They're up to here on me. I'm so excited.
See, when he gets back, he's not going to believe. He's going to say, what? Because the difference is just going to be
gonna be
mind-blowing. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about petunias, because these are beautiful, aren't they? I love deadheading petunias. It's one of my favourite jobs to do. Absolutely adore deadheading petunias.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Just find it really enjoyable.
Just one really important thing to point out, though, because you don't, but sometimes when people deadhead, you need to take the whole end of the stem off, because some people just pull the little...
pull the flowers.
Yeah, but you've got to take the bit out below as well, so it's literally the whole top bit, because the seed, that's the kind of the little seed capsule at the back there. So, although sometimes the actual flower falls
just
out.
drops out. Yeah, that one's just dropped out. You actually need to go in and take the other bit out.
You've got to take the bit out behind as well.
There you go.
So, and that way you get that kind of seed head off of there.
Very good. Okay, that is a good tip, actually. That's a really good tip, because I bet loads of people just pull the flower out.
No, if you just pull the flower out, you just leave the seed head
behind.
in situ behind. You can see on this sort of flower here, for example.
Yep.
That little bit there, that's where the seed capsule will form. So if you just pull the flower out the middle,
you've left it behind.
You've left the seed capsule on still, so you have to pick it off.
Just use your fingernails and
like
pinch
that.
it out.
Yeah, take the whole thing off. But
love these top tips. It smells good, doesn't it?
They smell gorgeous, don't they?
Look at the colour mix.
Yeah,
and
isn't that
are
fabulous?
They flower for ages. They're nice and easy. And of course, we've taken all of this hard work out because these have already been pre-potted for you with beautiful colours. And this is a pot you can use time after time. Once these are, done with, you can then use them next year and pot them up yourselves. They have the anti-twist hanging bits on there as well.
Oh, I like
those
the
are
twisting.
Yeah, they're easily removed too. So if you just wanted to use the pot as a pot and not use it as a hanging basket, you can do that as well.
Yeah, and as you say, all the hassle has been done on these. I mean, to just think you're going to take these out the box. Imagine, one day your friends are walking past, there's no hanging basket outside your house. The next day, they're there. It's like, where'd they come from?
Yeah.
Out the box, looking this glorious, looking this fantastic. Just keep using your blooming fast on these as well. Keep feeding with your blooming fast.
Well, as long as you use the code YGTV2424, you will get this packet added into your basket. It's absolutely free with every single purchase. It's unlocked by putting that offer code in when you place your order. £4.99 we would normally be charging for this, but this is free and it makes 100 litres. 100 litres of the most amazing feed. So that is a really decent amount. If I think about it, so I've got a 10 litre watering can. This provides me with 10 watering cans. Every time I feed my plants, going around the pots and blah, 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 it's probably three, and I've got a lot. So that is going to do several weeks' worth of feed. Just one packet of those is going to do several weeks' worth of feed for me.
It's going to do even more at the minute because we're getting told in here to go to the compost, and you're going to come up with your little compost trick, aren't you, for getting more and more and more of the feed.
All right, 450091 for your pre-planted Petunia wave hanging baskets, but maybe this is something that you need to add in. I do have only one bag remaining. I've opened the last bag. No! So I am going to have to place another order very, very soon for the premium professional compost, and this stuff is absolutely amazing. And it's not just us that says that.
No.
The pages and pages of reviews that we get on this tell you that as well. Our regulars who will happily comment in the YouTube chat, the Facebook chat, they will tell us how amazing this compost is. Over the years that we've been bringing this compost to the various shopping channels that we work with, thousands upon thousands of people have told us how amazing this compost is, and there's a few simple reasons as to why, isn't there?
Yeah, and that's the trick, Bex. Simple. This is a simple but brilliant compost. First of all, it's a hugely peat-reduced compost because we're all going that way, but then we've substituted the peat we've taken out with that composted wood fibre. That keeps the texture of the compost nice and open. It lets the air penetrate down to the roots.
So important. The roots need to breathe. It's not just about water and feed. They actually need oxygen.
They do, yeah. That's why plants die when the ground's waterlogged, because they can't absorb oxygen through their root system, so they drown basically. So yeah, it's good to get that air down to the roots as well. It allows those little tiny roots on a seed, for example, to start to penetrate and kind of establish itself as well, which is really, really good. And it lets the water percolate through as well. And there's a wetting agent in this, which makes the compost, technical term, hydrophilic. It loves to absorb moisture, a bit like kitchen towel. You know, some composts, cheaper composts, if they dry out and you do that emergency watering, it's like water off a duck's back, isn't it? Water just cascades off, it doesn't soak in. This soaks up the moisture much, much more easily than those kind of composts. Slow release fertiliser in this, you'll see those little tiny green or beige coloured balls in this. They're the slow release fertiliser, going to feed your plants for up to 6 months. And it's pH balanced as well. pH, potential hydrogen. What that means is this compost isn't too acidic, so it's not right down the end of the scale where it's only good for rhodies and azaleas. It's not too alkaline where it's the other end of the scale where it's only good for lilacs and dianthus and things like that. It's more in the middle. So the vast, vast majority of plants are going to thrive in this compost. And Stu, our producer, always says the value is in the bag, not on the bag. That's why we have these plain white bags, because it's not going anywhere other than from the supplier direct to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the compost that we use here at the nursery. Anything we pot up. So our hanging baskets, for example, those Petunia Easy Wave that we showed you, those will have been planted in this compost. Our potted roses, those will have been planted in this compost. Anything we pot on, anything we specifically grow ourselves here at the nursery, this is what we use. And our head gardener, who has worked in horticulture since he popped out of the womb, he is the biggest advocate of this particular compost, and he really should know what he's talking about because he's been doing this for a long, long time. The quality of what we provide you is what we are incredibly, incredibly proud of, and one of the things that gives them that quality is this amazing compost. No, not 450. It's 100251, I think, is the item number for this one. Oh, close. 100125 is the item number if you want to go for your premium professional compost, 100 litres. There is a huge saving on there already at £24.98, but if you join our club, you'll get £2.50 off this. Every time you place that order, £2.50 off your compost. So if you think it only cost you £5 to join the club in the first place, 2 orders of compost and you've paid for your club membership. Now, I was going to tell you, wasn't I? If you want multiples of your free gift,
there we go.
This is the way to do it, because your compost has no postage attached to it. You can see on the screen, postage included. So if you need, let's say, 200 litres of your premium professional compost, don't do both in the same order. Do one order for 100 litres, enter the code YGTV2424, you'll get a bag of this. Then come back, do it again, enter the code YG2424, you'll get another bag of this, and you won't have paid postage on either of those orders. Then you can come back and you can place a third order for all the plants and the pots and whatever else it is that you want to do. If you can get that to over £40, you'll get free postage on that order as well, and you'll get another bag of your free gift. So that's how you play the system. That's how you get the best deals, the best prices, and multiples of your free gift.
Could you actually, because I know sometimes you're always looking at a kind of the cheapest kind of product to get you over the line to get free P&P.
Yeah.
Well, if you bought this on the website, that could be a good.
Yeah.
That could be a good way of getting you into the
We've
free
even got a
postage
smaller
zone,
option of that as well, I think, which is available on the website. I used to have a bag of it down here. There is a smaller bag of, yeah, here it is. There's a smaller bag of the plant food as well at £2.99. I believe all of these are available on the website. So you can go and search the website for the lowest priced item you need to tip your basket over the £40.
Yeah, so if you use up at £38 already, you don't want any P&P, just bung one of them in.
Yeah.
Straight away, you've saved all the P&P.
You'll have a useful item, save the P&P, and you'll get a free gift included as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic.
It's the way to do it. Right, let's have a little look in the chat, shall we? I am on YouTube right now. Olwyn, I've put a roller in a plastic bag, need an hour off from painting. I love painting. I should come over, Olwyn, I could help you.
Do you like the cutting in, or do you just like doing the easy bits in the middle?
Yeah, the easy bits in the middle. You do the cutting in for me. But I'm good at cutting in, actually. I'm actually quite good at it. I've got a nice steady hand. My husband will tape everything, and I'm like, it always leaves a wobbly edge. I would much rather...
No, I try
because it takes as long to tape it all as to just go along and be careful and do it. So I'm just like...
And you need about 36,000 kilometres of tape, don't you, to kind of do anything.
It's a mess.
And it's an environmental disaster as
I'll
well,
do it for you.
that tape.
Elaine is telling Olwyn to take it easy. I love this. Olwyn, take your time, love. Don't overdo it. And Olwyn's saying, yes, Elaine, daughter keeps telling me that. We're all going to tell you that, Olwyn. Take it easy. What's happened? They're all talking to each other. They're not talking to us. Neil says, good morning to East Coast. Somebody was saying earlier about how they've got the Begonia apricot shades. I remember seeing it. Who was it? They got the Begonia apricot shades and they love them, basically. Somebody was saying that earlier on.
Because we were doing them earlier in the year, weren't we? So probably somebody got them already flowering from when we sold them earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Probably flowering away
yes,
already.
it was Elaine. I have apricot shades and they are beautiful. There we go. So everyone's chatting to each other on YouTube. You can join the chat on YouTube. All you have to do is put it in there and I'll read them out. You've also got Facebook if you're on there. Good morning to everybody who is watching on Facebook. Stu is monitoring the chat there. He'll let us know if there's anything to talk about. And of course, you can send us any emails to ygtv@yougarden.com. And we have to go there because, who was this? Malcolm, wasn't it? Malcolm sent us a picture. Hang on, I'm clicking off this a minute, Stu. Bear with me. Meet Daisy, my 8-week Labradoodle. Oh, and it's actually from Penny. It is actually from Penny. Penny sent me a picture.
Oh, no.
Penny sent me a picture of Daisy the other day. Oh, my word. I have to zoom in.
So cute.
So it's going a bit blurred as I zoom in, but oh, my word, look.
Oh, she's divine.
I want to come and meet Daisy and play with Daisy.
Oh, she's like a dog version of a teddy bear.
Oh, she's so pretty,
so beautiful.
Isn't she? And I love your pot with the acer in the background, by the way, so that's beautiful. And, of course, the great big gorilla in the back as well. Love that.
I think he's called Guy.
Guy the gorilla.
Guy the gorilla.
Gary the gorilla.
Oh, Gary.
We don't know. We're making up names.
Gary the gorilla.
Love it.
Might be
Thank
Mabel.
you so much for sending that picture, Penny. I've got loads of other emails in here. So while we're coming over to the favourites table and you're going to talk to us, Adam, about these things,
I want more puppies
I
now.
will have a little look at the emails and see if we've got any more pictures that we want to show. We're coming over to the Geranium Fire Queen first of all, though. Something I've got in my garden, something that loads of people love having in their gardens. And that's because of how beautiful, long flowery, easy to grow, the fact that you can get them through to next year. They are stunning, aren't they?
They are, and the good thing is all the hard work's been done with these as well, because geraniums can be quite difficult to grow from seed. They're not the easiest thing, and the seed's really expensive for geranium. So we've grown these plants on for you already. These are fabulous plug plants, can go outside now. There won't be any more frosts, although it's been a bit of a close run thing just recently, but yeah, there's not going to be any more frosts, and the outlook is definitely for the weather to start warming up as we're moving more into summer, thank goodness. And these geraniums, again, they're just multifaceted, that again word, they're just so multifaceted because even the foliage looks great on these. Look at that lovely zonal kind of decoration, variegation on the foliage there. The foliage is also fragrant. Bex and I both say it kind of reminds us of our childhood. We think of our grandparents and stuff when we get that aroma of geranium foliage, because it just takes you back to when your grandparents used to grow geraniums. And then, of course, those lovely strong stems with those big heads of deep red flowers.
So gorgeous.
They're a real statement plant, aren't they, red geraniums? They've got something, I don't know, they're sort of a cut above the rest, aren't they? They're just so elegant and stunning and long flowered.
And I think with the zonal leaves that you've got on here as well, and the markings that you've got on here, I just find that it's not all about, I mean, It is quite stunning, and it is a lot about this beautiful flower head. But the colour of the leaves really do make it stand out, don't they?
Can we just see yours again, Bex? Because that's what I noticed on yours. Yeah, look at the zonal decoration on some of the leaves on yours was really outstanding.
It's so pronounced.
Look at that there. I mean, that
beautiful.
is so stunning, isn't it? I mean, that leaf, almost like a coleus leaf, really. Sort of colours going on, isn't there? And then it's almost like the flowers are an added bonus.
You're right. I need some white in there.
Coming out on
to
top.
Break it up.
Yeah, then you've got your red, white, and blue thing going on.
I know.
So you kind of you'll be ready for the Euros, ready for the Olympics.
Ready for the Olympics.
Because luckily France has the same colours as us, but reverse order. But well, you've got your white front door.
I'll cheer on our neighbours. It's fine. I don't mind. The white front door.
Yeah, your white front door. But these are what I always nickname kind of like the Buckingham Palace geraniums, because they had that huge roundabout, didn't they, in front of Buckingham Palace, or where they plant the beds up with those. These are the ones you sometimes see in those big park displays, or the sort of displays where they're those kind of very sort of official kind of planting schemes with bedding plants. But there's no reason you can't get these through from one year to another if you can get them through frost-free this coming winter.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's why they're in pots. I'm going to bring the pots into my conservatory and keep them in there, basically, and hopefully I'll be able to get them to come back next year.
You probably even take cuttings next spring as well.
Ooh, yeah, I'm going to start doing more of that, actually. I'm going to do it with the lavender soon. So I'm going to start doing that. 410064 is the item number. I'll say that again because I really did stumble that out. 410064. My mum always tells me off for talking too fast, so I have to slow myself down sometimes. That's the item number for the geranium Fire Queens. You get 10 of those garden-ready plants. If you want a multi-order, I highly recommend it because those will fill in some gaps in your borders. They'll go in pots, they'll go in window boxes. You can even put them in the top of hanging baskets if you want to as well. They're really versatile plants.
You know what, we talk too fast sometimes on Shopping Telly because in our previous life we were...
Yeah, we were whipped, weren't we?
Move,
go quicker.
Move on.
We're moving on
next. We're not
next.
like that here, are we?
No, not at all.
More laid back.
We're moving on to the most popular of the show so far. So I think this one will be staying on the favourites table this week. It is the antirrhinums, the Snapdragons. 10 garden-ready plants, £4 saving. What do we love about a Snapdragon, Adam?
Well, what I like about these ones in particular is these have got those double flowers. And look at the colour mix. That is such a stunning colour mix there. Sort of the soft pink, the deep red, the yellows, the whites. These will give you spikes of flower for month after month after month after month, right up until the autumn. And antirrhinums are fragrant as well. They tend to have sort of like a citrusy kind of fragrance. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, it's not hit you in the face fragrance, and you need to get your nose up to the flowers to smell them. But if you've got them in pots or tubs or containers, you can actually enjoy that fragrance. When the main flower spike has finished flowering, cut that flower spike off. They set up little side flower spikes that just keep the interest going. You can have two options with these. The plants we're sending out are ready to go straight out, ready to grow on, and you can leave them as they are and you'll get nice, reasonably tall plants with perhaps 3 or 4 lovely big flower spikes on top. But if you want to, you can pinch the top out of the plants we're supplying you. That will then encourage them to sprout out sidewards. So you'll get slightly shorter plants, but with more flower spikes, be it they're not quite as big as if you didn't pinch out. But either way, you get drama, you get colour, you get fragrance, you get a long flower period. And these are just such happy, gorgeous looking plants to just brighten any garden up during the summer. Last year I grew antirrhinums myself. I grew them from seed, and I had mine probably not even a super sunny position. Mine got a little bit of sun up to about late morning lunchtime, and the rest of the day they were in shade. They did quite well there. They did get a little bit leggy, but they still did quite well in that position. So ideally, they like a nice sunny spot. That's what they do really, really well.
Yeah.
But great for
if all you've got is a part shade position, they'll still do
fine.
well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Great for pots, troughs. You can even grow these in large hanging baskets. You could have 2 or 3 in the centre if you wanted to. But just joyful, happy bedding plants to get you through the summer, fill those gaps, give you endless colour. And there's just something about Snapdragons. They're one of those plants that all remind us of our childhood as well, a bit like sort of sunflowers and daisies and things like that. I think because as a kid, we was, they were called Snapdragons, and sort of the names are stuck in the head, isn't it, really?
Well, you've got a £4 saving on that one. 410048 is the item number. 10 of those garden-ready plants, flowering right the way through to the autumn for you. Just £8.99. If you're in the club, remember, you get a 10% discount off the plants, the pots, the compost. So actually, On this one, it's £8.09 if you're in the club. And if you think about it, it costs you £5 to join that club. All right, you're getting 90p off that one item there. It's not going to be long until you make that £5 back, is it? And then if you think for every time you place an order over the next 12 months, you will be making savings. It's well worth joining that club. I promise you, you'll enjoy it. It brings up a little box when you place your order. Do you want to save X amount today? Click yes. You always want to save, I promise you. It's an auto-renewal, but you can cancel it at any time. We're not going to spam you with loads of emails and stuff like that. Honestly, it's just a really good club to be a member of.
Do you like spam?
It's been a while since I ate spam. I don't like email spam. You were talking about meat spam, aren't you?
Do you remember spam fritters at school?
No, I don't.
We used to have spam fritters.
I'd probably love it now.
Spam fritters were like eating a sandal cooked in batter.
I love anything. I love anything that's a good fritter. I mean, if you get a good fritter.
Yeah. Chicken schnitzel, that's nice. Good chicken schnitzel.
Stop it, I'm hungry.
Oof, can't beat it.
Let's move on. We're going to bring you back to customer favourite Begonia apricot shades. Come rain or shine, your begonias will keep going. We have unpredictable British summers.
I thought he was going to say, come rain or shine, they'll be fine.
I should have done, shouldn't I? We have unpredictable British summers, but begonias...
No, we don't. Don't talk nonsense.
I mean, it's only the middle of June and we've still got jumpers on. Who knows?
It's been few what a scorcher since March.
Begonia apricot shades don't care what kind of weather we're having, though, do they? They will flower their socks off.
And that's the great thing about them.
They don't need these full, bright, sunny days.
They're not bothered. In fact, the weird thing is, on a grey day, they actually look like they are in the sun.
Yeah, because they're illuminated.
They do. They always emanate their own light, don't they? They've got that sort of brightness to them. My brother's grown these for about 4 or 5 years running now. He absolutely adores them, and every year he sends me pictures, and he's got these great big baskets that are completely full, flowers tumbling over the side in shades of salmon and apricot and orange and yellow, and even little bits of white on some of the edges of the petals. It could be a windy, wet day, it could be a hot, blue, sunny day. They do not care. They just keep flowering. Even the leaves are attractive. They've got those kind of asymmetrical, triangular sort of leaves with those very serrated edges, which are great. The leaf stems themselves are bright red. Every part of this plant is attractive. Hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of flowers from a basket load of these. They even self-deadhead, so you don't even need to bother deadheading them. And if you get, well, you will get it, liquid feed, blooming fast, feed them with that. That will just keep that display going. And these will go right up until the frost actually cuts them back and stops them. And then, if you dry them off, you can get the tubers through the winter and you can start them to grow again the following spring.
Right, so that's the pack that they come in. There's a pack of the 10 garden ready. I mean, I just find them so interesting. Look, they're flowering already. The stems are super interesting. The foliage is really interesting. Absolutely adore begonias. This is why I've added begonias into my hanging baskets this year, because do you know what? I just wanted a reliable, perfect hanging basket, and I knew that planting begonias in there meant that was exactly what I was going to get, no matter what the weather. I've got a northeast facing front door as well, so I needed something that wasn't going to need to be in bright sunshine, and that's exactly what I'm getting with my begonias. Apricot shades are one of the absolute best. Absolutely gorgeous, planted on, grown on into our garden ready plug plants. You'll be amazed at the displays that you get from these all the way, right the way through to those first frosts.
And you know what, Bex, that plant you just plucked out there,
yeah.
I could see that in a garden centre in a 9 centimetre pot on its own for $1.99, just for one plant that size. So you'd be paying like 20 quid for kind of 10 plants. The value on these, especially the discount club price, is phenomenal for plants this well established, already flowering, fabulous root system, and that instant colour hit is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You can double up if you want to, so you can go for a pack of garden ready, 10 of them for £12.99. But if you double up, if you put 2 in your basket and enter the offer code YGTV2424, you will get 20 of those for £17.99. Take 10% off that if you're in the club as well, so way less than £1 a plant, whether you're in the club or not in the club. Let's move on, shall we? We've got our little lemons, our clematis. I always say clematis. You say clematis, don't you?
I don't. Did I say clematis?
You did before.
Yeah.
I was checking. I don't know. I quite like the debate. Is it clematis or is it clematis?
Because I always say garage rather than garage. But
I say garage.
No, I say garage.
It's fun though, isn't it? Working out what other people say. Anyway,
yeah, definitely.
It's a clematis or a clematis, but this is a super interesting one, isn't it? Because it's the little lemons. This is not a big, vigorous climber.
No, it's not a big lemon like we've got behind here.
It's not a big lemon, it's a little lemon.
It's little lemons. Now, anybody who knows Clematis tangutica or has grown a Clematis tangutica, well, you need a machete to keep it in, kind of cut back.
It's really vigorous, isn't it?
Super vigorous things. They can grow 12, 15 foot in one season. And you've got a small space, you couldn't grow that. No. This gets to about... Let's move that. You're annoying me. Over there.
It annoys you every time, doesn't it? That board.
It does, because I like to move about. I like to animate myself. This gets to about 40 centimetres tall.
Yeah.
Will flower for a long, long period of time.
Look at the flowers.
Isn't that lovely? Isn't that divine?
It's so pretty.
How sweet is that?
It's a lovely nodding little flower, little bonnet cap on the top.
Stunning,
and then
isn't it?
The petals open up and they reflex and
open up.
It's so
you
pretty.
Get that, I think, like a Turk's cap kind of flower on there as well. And the seed heads are great as well, because you end up with these sort of fluffy seed heads. You remember the wild clematis we have in the UK, which is Clematis vitalbra, I think. That one we used to call old man's beard. Do you remember the autumn? Yeah, that's what these do. These have these lovely fluffy seed heads.
I know what you mean, yes.
Even after the flowers are finished, you still get the lovely fluffy seed heads. And the bud's actually, funny enough, when I was looking on the monitor there, that bud there reminds me of the physalis.
Okay, yeah.
Got that same shape, haven't they? Except they're red, not yellow. So this is elegant. This has got all the attributes of its huge, huge kind of parent, but this is on a really small, 40 centimetre high, nice compact plant.
I love it.
Bright, bright, zingy lemon yellow flowers. Really nice, finely cut, sort of ferny foliage as well on there. And a little planter behind, that planter here, that container, this would look amazing in here because it's only going to get to about 40 centimetres tall. So if you had this, I might be able to get it through there actually, if I do it gently. If I can imagine kind of getting that into that eclipse planter, and then, there we go.
Yeah, so it's just going to provide that extra little bit of support just so that it's got something to hold on to, so that if it is a bit of a windy day, it's not going to, demolish the plant, basically. I've got one of these, and I think they're super clever. They're really attractive. They're beautiful, these eclipse planters. They're perfect size. Obviously, you're just going to need to keep on top of the watering because it is a slightly smaller pot. Can we give the details for this one, Stu? The eclipse, because we do have a double-up deal available here on this one. So it's $9.99 for one. But if you want to go for a couple of these, you can get the second one for just, what, £4 more. So maybe go for two of your little clematis, little lemons, and get two of your eclipse planters. Two of those. I mean, it would look so pretty, wouldn't it? On your your table outside. Yeah. You could put them on the dining table when we do actually manage to get outside, or you can just put it there so when you're looking out your kitchen window, you can see those. Really elegant, really beautiful. So 130133 is the item number for the eclipse planter, and of course we gave you the details of the little lemons, the clematis as well. Right.
Excuse me.
Adam, you can have a little break. Actually, you can change the table over, so we've got some more plants to look at. And I am going to give everybody a little review of some of the things that we have seen so far. Pens and papers time. If you would like to make a little list of anything that you are interested in buying, now is the time to note down these numbers. We're going to start off with the Pittosporum tabaira, the Japanese mock orange. I saw in the email somebody was asking about the flowering period on the mock orange. It's normally flowering around now. It's Chelsea time, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and it sort of keeps going on and off kind of throughout sort of mid to late spring to midsummer, really.
Yeah, so it does a major flowering period, and then you'll get some more flowers thrown out throughout the summer, but it is evergreen as well, so of course you've got that interest going on. The fragrance of it is absolutely incredible, and the saving is even more incredible. £15 off that one, £29.99 if you use our offer code YGTV2424. Chelsea pensioner is next. Talking about Chelsea, here we have our beautiful Harkness rose, the Chelsea pensioner. Harkness have been breeding roses for over 140 years. They've got 25 gold medals from Chelsea. This one was nominated, and it was a finalist, wasn't it, for the Plant of the Year at Chelsea this year, where it was launched. Obviously, the beautiful red colour is matching their gorgeous red jackets that the Chelsea pensioners wear. Up to 50 petals you get from each of these roses as well. A beautiful fragrance too. And of course, because it's a Harkness rose, it is beautifully disease resistant as well. £10 saving on there too. Remember, when you put your code in, you'll get the saving, but you will also get your free gift, which is the Blooming Fast fertiliser. Next, we've got our orange geums. Not just any old geum. I mean, geums are beautiful anyway, but these are the pumpkin orange geums. I love geums. I love the neat mound of foliage that you get, and then you get these lovely sort of taller flower spikes rising up out the top. Really nice sort of neat habits they have. They play well in mixed borders. They're not bullies, they don't take over, but they do provide gorgeous colour and structure in those borders. 3 9cm pots you are getting. It's a half price deal, £14.97 rather than £29.97, so well worth grabbing that bargain while we've got it. 561211 is the item number if you'd like the lovely geum orange pumpkin. Oh, my little lovely favourites here. My trio of the Japanese Maple Acer collection. You've got the Atripurpureum, which you're looking at there. Beautiful dark burgundy foliage. Love the maple leaves. You've got the Orange Dream in that one. I know we've got a question about that as well. We'll come back to it hopefully in a little while. Love the colour that you get on there. And of course you've got the Emerald Lace, which has the beautifully dissected leaves that you get from those. Remember what Adam was saying to you? These aren't just autumn colours, and we do expect autumn displays from Acers, but these are the colours that you will be expecting to get from these throughout the season. They are absolutely stunning. They're one of my absolute favourite plants to have in the garden. They have gorgeous calming effect, and it's so easy to look after, super easy, very hardy. They have our winter hardy guarantee, so a lifetime guarantee. 510134 is the item number. Perhaps you want to get those as a gift like I did for my lovely friend recently. Massive saving, £25 off that one, £19.97. If you want to go for your trio of Acers. Next we've got the Petunia, the Easy Waves. Bit of a red, white and blue theme going on in there. I know there's a few pinks included as well, but it's a bit of a red, white and blue if you're thinking about the sporting events that are happening this summer. They are pre-planted, which is brilliant. You know, maybe you've run out of time, maybe you just can't be bothered. I get it, like sometimes some jobs just don't need doing by you, and that's why we brought you our pre-planted hanging baskets. 25cm pots, they can be reused next year. They have the anti-twist hanging bits included as well, so and they can be removed, so you could just use them as pots if you want to as well. They're green plastic pots, but obviously as these trail and tumble, you shouldn't be able to see the pots anyway, but they do look gorgeous, and petunias are so easy to look after. Make sure you feed them, they're hungry, they do want feeding, so it's great if you can use Blooming Fast, which you will be getting as a free gift when you enter the code YGTV2424. 450091 is the item number if you want to go for the pair of the pre-planted hanger baskets with the £15 saving. The favourites of all the garden readies that we brought you today is the antirrhinums, the Snapdragons, 10 garden ready plants, £4 saving. These are, I mean, I think they're the quintessential cottage garden flower, aren't they? Nice and compact, relatively small, so we're thinking about front of borders, we're thinking about putting them into pots. You could even put these into some window boxes as well if you wanted to. Gorgeous mix of colours, and they will just keep going for you all the way through the summer, right the way through to those first frosts, and a delightful scent on those as well. 410048 is the item number if you want to go for the 10 garden ready anti-rhinum mini butterflies mix. I wonder why it's called mini butterflies. Is it because they look like butterfly wings? Maybe. Probably. The next one is the Begonia apricot shades, reminiscent of my nan. Absolutely love these. Her garden was filled with Begonia apricot shades, and the reason is because, well, they're easy. You know, they flower for ages, they deadhead themselves, they don't mind the British summer. It doesn't matter if it's a really hot, baking, dry summer or a wet and windy one. Begonias just keep doing their thing, which is beautiful. And look at the layer upon layer of petals that you're getting included in there as well. You have got a double up deal on the begonias, so you can just go for 10 of these at $12.99, but worth doubling up if you can and going for 2 packs of 10, so getting 20, because it's just £5 more for the second pack. 410050 is the item number if you would like to go for the Begonia apricot shades. Right, let's go into the emails, shall we? I just need to clean the screen. There we go. Oh, I can see better now. Right, let's have a little chat with everybody, shall we? Right, we've seen Daisy, as much as I want to go back to Daisy. Oh, Elena sent us a picture. I should have brought my standard rose in. That is Elaine's standard rose. Oh, I always do it wrong, don't I? There's Elaine's standard rose in our Diablo pot. What is she underplanted with there?
Nothing standard about that. That looks gorgeous.
Nothing standard about that. What are those?
Begonias.
They do look like begonia leaves,
some
don't
begonias underneath.
That looks lovely. But yes, look at the roses on there. There's loads of buds appearing as well. I wonder if that's the first year for that. Maybe.
That's looking really good.
It is looking really good, isn't
Already
it?
flowered, as you say, tons of flower buds. Nice healthy foliage on there, glossy.
It's gorgeous.
Shiny foliage, always a good sign.
Yeah, mine are looking really good as well. I'll have to post a video on my socials later on. Right, so that one is from Elaine. Let's have a look at who else is talking to us in the chat. All right, so Susan Bennett wants some advice on her callistemon. So, blah, blah, blah. We bought, she became a member of the club. We bought many items since, including plants, bulbs and pots. Thank you very much for all those orders. Could you please give me an advice on what's happened to my bottle brush plant? I repotted it, watered and fed it. It started to flower at first, but then it seemed to dry up and the leaves have gone crispy. The compost is damp, not dry. Let's have a look at the picture. Oh. That's not looking happy, is it?
No, I think we might need to replace that for you, possibly. That one. Yeah, that's...
Could it got a bit shocked with being repotted?
Yeah, that could be a little bit of transplant shock. And I'll tell you another thing it could be as well is because the callistemons are kept sort of in our greenhouses before they go out, and then they've gone out into what's been quite an exceptionally cold summer this year. I think the shock of the cold nights, the low temperatures we've had this summer, and the wetness. I know you've not overwatered it, but the wet, cold compost has probably just completely upset this plant. So it's just not enjoyed the transition from where it's been held here to where it's trying to grow now. I've had quite a lot of people, customers, say to me this year, certain things have really struggled, looking sad, not doing too good, and it really is because it's just been so sort of brutally cold and windy and unpleasant, and a lot of things will cope with it, but you've got to remember something like callistemon, they originate from Australia, that kind of part of the world. So although yeah, they do quite well in the UK, occasionally when we get this exceptional weather, they can struggle a little bit.
So it's a case of maybe doing a little bit of hardening off, not putting it straight out, putting it out for an hour, keeping it sheltered, an hour a day, keep it sheltered, then extend that period of time. It's just a really unusual. I know we supposedly had the hottest May on record, but
allegedly,
it seems very, very strange to me because it's not been that warm, has it?
It was the nighttime temperatures. Apparently, they were way above average.
Yeah, but the daytimes aren't.
The daytimes aren't. So yes, I think it's a combination of the fact that poor callistemon. Ordinarily this time of year now we'd be having temperatures of 21, 23, 24 degrees, and we've had nighttime temperatures dropping down to 2 or 3 degrees. We've had daytime temperatures sometimes not getting above 12 or 13. We've had those cold winds. So I think the plant, it's in that cold, damp, wet compost. It's just showed off and not liked it. So yeah, perhaps talk to our customer services and see
have a chat with customer services, see what they will say.
Replaced for you, possibly.
Right, Margaret. I love this. She says, "Hi there. This pest has destroyed a part of my garden, chasing a pigeon and catching it. All that is left of it is feathers. So I have to place an order this week. His name is Odin." We don't have pest control for Odin, but Odin looks beautiful. I love Odin. Look how nonchalant he looks. He's like, yeah, check me out.
Just chilling out there, like, just give me love. Bring me a bowl of milk.
Ah, I love Odin. That's brilliant. Right, Linda. Berry roses. This is my first to flower. Lovely pink rose, labelled red. Oops. Grown in the compost. Root booster, that's this compost here, and 2 liquid feeds. It has gone wild. I'm thinking I should cut it right back and starve it for a while. What do you think? The climber is thornless and does not readily drop its dead flowers. I think, yeah, let it do its thing.
Yeah, let it do its. Goodness me, if you've got that result, run with it. Definitely.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
It is stunning. I mean, keep deadheading it as well. So, and sometimes with roses, I know we always want to leave roses on to the very, very last minute, but sometimes it's worth just taking them off just a couple of 2 or 3 days before they really go over, because the sooner you deadhead a rose,
the sooner it can start new shoots.
Yeah.
And that's the mistake I've made this year with my Arthur Bell. Flowering beautifully. I left all the flowers on until the last moment. I've been around and deadheaded it, and now I'm sitting there waiting because there's no flowers on it.
Yeah, so sometimes, because you know what roses are like, they're in bud, then they open out, and they're that perfect moment that they would open out, and they get a little bit bigger, and then they just start to really open out and get a bit washed out looking. If you can bear to do it, deadhead them at that stage, because then you'll get more flowers sooner than if you leave them onto the very, very last noggins.
That looks so beautiful, though. I would love to be sat in that chair. Look at how lush and beautiful that is.
Look at that.
That's gorgeous. Your hosta's looking amazing. There's not one munch hole in that hosta.
That's like
I've got a few munch holes in mine, unfortunately, but it's looking beautiful.
It's like a magazine kind of picture,
that
isn't
is, definitely. Looks like it should be in Country Living or something or
Homes
other.
and Gardens or something. It's got that nice look to it.
Right, it was Vivian who asked about the flowering period of the mock orange, which is basically sort of around Chelsea flower show time, so May into early June, and then it'll keep sending out some flowers throughout the summer season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I've been at Chelsea, because that same tree's been there for donkey's years, and it was in full flower when I get to Chelsea, so we normally start sort of very early May. It's flowering, then it flowers all the way through May. It will keep going into June, and then it will send out odd flowers kind of throughout the summer.
Anne has said, here is my Acer Orange Dream. So if you're going for the multi-pack, that's included in there. It is beginning to fill out now. Can you ask if it is possible to trim this into a cloud-trimmed tree? I don't know what she means by a cloud-trimmed tree. Do you know that?
That's so weird you should say that, because I look after a lovely lady as gardening Swaffham called Anne Gordon, and she's got the most fantastic Acer, and I've cloud pruned the Acer for her. So if you imagine, you know those super great big poodles, and they kind of cut their fur, so they have those kind of ball shaped things on their.
Love that.
Yeah, so you're kind of making your Acer like that. So so what you need to do is what you do where you've got a stem with quite like a main trunk with quite a few stems on the end, like on that top left bit, for example, you could then round that bit off, and then you would clear between that and the next stem. So what you're doing, you're creating like a cloud effect on that plant, and you could do 2 or 3 on each one. And the Japanese do that. It's called cloud pruning, and it looks absolutely amazing. And now's a good time of year to do it on the Acer. I've been holding back on doing Anne's one because the new foliage looks so good. But what I normally do is once it's had its initial growth and the foliage starts to not go over, but you know what I mean, it doesn't look as pristine and as fresh as it does first thing in the spring.
Then
that's a good time then to sort of cloud prune it.
I might look at that. Lovely. And somebody else has sent me more. Dahlia. Ah, yes, I've got my first dahlia flower as well. This has come from Graham. Look at that.
That would be, I don't know which one, but there's a whole series of dahlias called Bishop of something. And there's Bishop of Llandaff, Bishop of Leicester, I think Bishop of... and they are very, very popular. Quite a lot of them have that dark kind of foliage as well. That could be Bishop of Llandaff. It's very similar flowers. But yeah, gorgeous.
And here is Oscar from Nathan, East Coast. Oh, look how happy Oscar is. I love it when they do that and they just squint their eyes. Oh, it's a happy cat right there. It's a happy garden as well. Look at that.
And they say it's a dog's life, but I think it's a cat's life as well.
It is a cat's life.
It's like you could just imagine. You could just hear him purring, can't you?
Yeah. I love a cat's purr. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for all your emails, for your questions. That's what we're here for. We'll do our best to help you answer any questions that we know the answers to. Between us, we normally can manage to do that. I love looking at your gardens. I love looking at your pets as well. So thanks so much for sending those in. YGTV@yougarden.com is where you will send those, I'm sure. In the next hour or so, we will find some more time to look at those. We're going to start off with the lovely Hydrangea. We brought this one back. This one's absolutely beautiful. This is on my fantasy list when I'm planning my amazing, garden when I become a millionaire. Rodney, this time next year, this is going in my garden.
You know what? if I didn't know that was a hydrangea, I wouldn't know it was a hydrangea.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
It just doesn't look like a hydrangea.
No.
It looks like some kind of amazing house plant when you look at it.
I love it. It's lovely because it's got this lovely sort of chocolate brown, olive green, I don't know, weird
it's
colour
almost
mix.
iridescent, the way you're moving it.
I know.
Look at the way the light bounces
It's got
off it.
beautiful iridescence.
Yeah.
And then when you look underneath, completely different colour underneath.
Matches your top. In fact, that almost disappears. Almost disappears against your top when you turn that over because it's kind of got that sort of, that pinky sort of colour underneath.
I love it. I think as a foliage plant, this is really interesting. It's got lovely red stems on here as well. And then you can get some flowers on here, and this is a gorgeous combination.
The flowers are mad because when you get the flowers on top with those kind of, purpley pink buds in the middle, then mauve, kind of all those little mauve buds in the middle, and then the pink flower on the outside. On top of that chocolatey coloured foliage, these are just really, really amazing hydrangeas. Look at that. That is, it's like a lace cap kind of flower on these ones. Hydrangea aspera hot chocolate. This is a real knockout statement kind of hydrangea. I would adore it just for the foliage because my back garden, I like to go for sort of jungly look, exotic look kind of. I like to go for different types of foliage. So for me, that ticks the boxes for foliage. If you think back to hydrangeas when you was a kid, this doesn't resemble anything, does it, like a hydrangea? You imagine those ones with the big pink kind of mop heads or the blue mop heads and those big green leaves. These have come on so much. The breeding programme for these, this is dramatic, and it gives you the opportunity as well when you've got foliage like this to contrast it against other things and get that really different, unusual look. And then, of course, if the foliage wasn't enough for you, to get an explosion of these flower heads on top is just absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, it's a stunning variety of hydrangea. Super easy to look after, has the winter hardy guarantee, so lifetime guarantee from us at YouGarden. If it fails to thrive, if it dies, you can get in touch with our customer services department and we'll replace it for you free of charge. All you have to do is cover any postage cost to get that out to you, but it's wonderful to have that peace of mind. I don't know anywhere else that offers a lifetime guarantee on plants. I keep looking, and if you find one, please let me know. But I have not found anywhere that offers that. I found nurseries that will offer a 5-year guarantee, which is brilliant. It's not as good as ours. Ours is a lifetime guarantee. 511 507 is the item number if you'd like to add the hydrangea hot chocolate into your basket. Make sure you use the offer code YGTV2424 because we've got a £10 saving on that one. Now, it's the return of the passion flower. Passion flower is back. We've got them back in stock, so we thought we'd keep that amazing price. Here it is, £9.99 if you're not a club member, £8.99 if you are a club member, and it's one of the most beautiful, tropical, gorgeous flowers. Straight on, absolutely stunning. But side view, look at how 3D and exciting and interesting that flower is.
It's mad.
And you get loads of them. Look at the buds that are on here. They are absolutely incredible climbers.
Well, it's that sort of climber that every leaf node, it produces a bud. So, leaf and a bud, leaf and a bud, leaf and a bud, leaf and a bud, leaf and a bud. every juncture, as it produces a new set of leaves, it also produces a flower bud at the same time. It's a constant flower on these. Just going to keep flowering, flowering, flowering. This one is a hardy passion fruit as well, or passiflora. This is sort of the hardiest one of any type you can grow. I've seen these grown in customers' gardens for year after year after year. It's a fast-growing climber. I'm not exaggerating. I've seen some of these grow like 10, 12 foot in 1 year, one season, when they really get going.
Amazing.
And in a really hot summer as well, they produce these orange, like small egg-sized fruit, which you can't eat, but they look really attractive. They're quite different, quite unusual. They self-cling. They've got these tendrils on the plants, and if I actually left my little finger inside that tendril,
it'd wrap round it, wouldn't it?
Within half an hour, it would start to grip onto my finger and wrap round. And then what they do is they then become spring-like, and by doing that, they actually pull themselves against the support that they're holding onto. So that's how they kind of grip on. So they're self-supporting. All you've got to do is give them some trellis or some wires or something to grow up through. good use for these could be, you might have a rose arch, for example, and you've got a lovely white flowering rose, but it only flowers once and then it's all over.
Yep.
On the opposite side, plant one of these. This can grow up and through the rose. It will look brilliant when they're flowering simultaneously, but when the rose has gone over, you can keep the interest going in that arbour or that archway by having these keep going all the way through the summer.
I love that top tip, actually, when it comes to the passion flower, because there's certain climbers that you wouldn't allow to do that, because those climbers will strangle the other plants. It will kill them off.
Yeah.
But this doesn't do that, does it? It's not invasive in that way.
No, this is not a kind of a thug as a climber. It doesn't, kind of overrule and totally wipe out anything else it's climbing over, say like a Russian vine or a Virginia creeper would. This will quite happily share and grow in between other plants like climbing roses, for example. Or say you've got something like a forsythia. And the forsythia looks fabulous, doesn't it, in the spring, in March? Masses of yellow flowers, really sort of, bringing in spring, really nice and cheerful. But for the rest of the year, forsythias are a bit dull. They're green, but there's not much else going on. We'll grow one of these up, 3 or forsythia. That will really fox a few people, won't it, when they walk past? Like, hold on a minute.
What is that?
Forsythia with blue flowers. Where'd you get that one? But it'll be your passion flower flowering away. And also, it gives it structure, it gives it something to hold on to, it gives it support, and it'll give you a little bit of protection in the winter as well. This does have a lifetime guarantee for hardiness, so if you ever do lose it after doing what you meant to do, we'll replace it for you. You just pay the P&P. But if you want something extraordinary, something different, something hardy, something unusual, a real eye catcher, go for this.
I'm getting this. I'm having it. I've decided. That's it. I'm doing it. Now then, we got something for you that you might want to consider in putting into your basket if you're adding the passion flower in. Now, passion flower is a great climber. It can climb up fences, over pergolas, cover up an ugly fence, across a wall if you want to do that. But if you want it to be self-contained, you want to be able to take it with you if you ever move home, you want a 360-degree display, this is one of the best things that you can buy for it. We've kept the deal. You can get one for $24.99, or you can get two for... Is that correct? $34.98, Stu? We're just going to double check the price on that, because the two used to be $39.98, which is still a good saving. So we're just going to check that, because we might have brought the price down a little bit more, or we've made a mistake on the details. We'll clarify that for you in a second. Now, what we would do when we're planting this, and you've given me an amazing tip when it comes to climbers, like if you're growing raspberries and things like that, is don't just let it go straight up.
No.
Actually make it, if you're planting it in here, bend it sideways, make it go round and round and round. The reason being, you restrict the sap. So if you take it from going vertical to going horizontal, you're restricting the sap flow. And then what the plant will do is it'll send up horizontal shoots.
Yeah.
So then what you end up getting is more flowers.
That's it, yeah. Because,
simple as, right?
Yeah, because what you've done is by doing that, you've stressed the plant. The plant thinks it's under threat. The plant thinks, it's in kind of immortal danger. So what it wants to do, it wants to produce as many shoots as it can to produce as much seed as it can.
Mortal danger,
yeah,
I love that.
Before it's going to perish. So but of course the plant isn't going to perish if you do that. It's just going to make more stems. More stems means more flowers.
It is, which is why it sends up those shoots. So what we'll do, it comes to you like this, by the way. I'm not going to clip it in place, but it comes to you in the separate parts. So what you'll do with your passion flower is you're going to plant it in there. You'll take the cane out. Oh, there's a big... You take the cane out, and then what you're going to do is take this and start feeding it through and around that way, and then you can add the second bit on top, and it will, and then just keep encouraging it to go round and round.
Well, what I'd almost be tempted to do, Bex, with that, if possible, it might be a little bit tricky, but what I'd almost be tempted to do is do exactly that, but try and plant it from the outside in. So take it out of the pot.
Oh.
And if you can just get that root ball, I mean, you might just need to snip one of these sections just to make it slightly bigger.
Right.
I would then plant it from the outside in, and then you can train it around the outside, kind of...
Round the outside.
Round the outside, kind of horizontally. I know you might just have to snip a little bit to get it through, but then I think that'd be easier trying to do it.
Round the outside.
Round the outside. And then, so you've kind of done that restriction.
Oh, sorry.
And there was a name for that. What did they call it? That thing there was that phrase a little while back when they said when people do that. snurkling or
There's
a kind of a thing for it, like that kind of. Oh, whatever. Move on. But yeah, so and then you can get it to go around horizontally, and you will just have that whole tower of those blue flowers.
I love them, honestly. Tower planters are one of my favourite things. I've got. How many have I got, Stu? 5.
100.
I've got 5 of them, and I am going to get the passion flower. I'm wondering whether to grow it up a fence or just get another tower planter to put it in. I don't know. It is a double up deal available. Stu, did we check the price? $34.98. We've taken an extra fiver off here. Right, let's show you on the website. It is a busy basket, but look, we've put 2 in. 2 in the basket. £34.98 because we put the offer code in already. So yeah, it's £34.98. Freebie included in there as well. Right, Hypericum, where's... Oh, it's on the table.
Yeah, let's move this beauty over a bit so it's out of the way.
We're going to go and see Hypericum Miracle Attraction. It's funny that we've got this on the show today, actually, because I was doing my dog walking at the weekend and on Monday, and there's this particular house I walked past, and they've got this beautifully established Hypericum, and every time I walk past it, I'm like, that is beautiful. And I did my little dog walk on Monday. I walked past it, and it's got all these yellow flowers and all these yellow buds, and it really stood out to me. I was like, yes, it's coming, and here we have it.
They're lovely, aren't they?
They are absolutely one of my again, this is on my fantasy list. So these are just super beautiful. You've got flowers, you've got fruits, you've got so much interest going on here, and if you just take the flowers on their own, I find those absolutely charming. Look at that. Look at how many stamens are on there.
Again, it looks...
Just the flower is charming.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a tropical plant, doesn't it? It looks like a plant from like a really sort of hot country, somewhere kind of really exotic and unusual. But, and again, it's great because, like you say with the passion flower, sometimes it's good to look at a plant front on, but when you see it side on, like the one in the middle, you can see all those little stamens poking up, can't you? And isn't that just divine? I mean, I
love it so much, but there's just so much that goes on with this because look, you can see all the buds that you've got on here, and the range of colours. There's peaches and reds and creams and greens, and there's just so much to look at.
And
with
even
it.
The leaf arrangement, there's a name for this, which I can't remember, but the way the leaves come out either side of the stem, and then so they're not kind of on their individual little stalks like, say, a normal leaf. They've got they've almost got these sessile kind of stemless leaves that actually attach.
It's almost a bit like a ladder. It's a bit like they're perfectly next to each other, aren't they?
It's great, isn't it? Because and then between each one, this little spray of flowers come out, and then, of course, afterwards you've got those wonderful buds, not buds, like seed heads. Lovely seed heads. These quite often, if you get a display of flowers delivered or sent to you, they put sprays of those in.
Cut flowers of these in, don't they?
Yeah, they put them in because
they're really long lasting.
They are, yeah. And these are so easy to grow. I mean, Hypericums, they almost grow on a washing line. They're really super tough plants.
Winter hardy.
Winter hardy, not really particularly fussed about soils, growing quite poor, kind of denuded, really low nutrient soils, growing full sun, don't mind dappled shade. Their common name, now I always get told off for saying this by my sister-in-law.
St John's wort.
See, I used to say St John's wort, and she was like, what? It's wort. I was like, oh, right, then I'll say wort then. But I used to say wort, but St John's wort.
It's just we think wort, and we obviously associate that with some hideous growth, don't we? I get it, but that's its common name. That's what a lot of people know it as.
People take it as a supplement as well, don't they? St John's. I think I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but I know you can take it as a supplement.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a supplement for something. I don't know what it's good for.
Yeah, so you can actually use. I think
it's for joints or something or other.
Joints or something like that. Yeah, but
mobility or something.
Evergreen plant as well. These look quite good in the winter time as well. Again, thinking to the ones that my customers have got, even in the winter time, they look quite interesting because the seed heads stay on for a long time. So
look at that. Look at that one. Against the sort of darker here, this one. Obviously against that darker background, and you can just see those bright stamens pointing out. Oh, I love it so much.
It's so.
Love it.
It's almost got something a little bit Christmassy about it to me. It feels
I get that. I can see that.
Kind of Christmassy kind of feel to it.
Flowers,
with the flowers and the berries
foliage. There was pinky coloured stems on there as well. Honestly, it's beautiful. As Stu's just saying in our ear, you know, we've often got little videos that we play in to show you, like plug plants and bare roots, to show you what it's going to look like. He hasn't played it once yet because everything good about this plant is happening right now, and it's going to keep happening as well, right the way through. I mean, I remember looking at that person's that I always walk past when I do my dog walk. I remember looking at their Hypericum in sort of October last year, and it looked phenomenal.
In fact, sometimes I think of a lady's garden we look after in a place called Fifield, and she's got one of these that flowers every year, and that one has pink flowered seed heads.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've always adored it because you get the flowers and you get these glossy pink seed heads on there that look just amazing. So, and it looks to me, I almost prefer the seed heads to the flowers, but both are divine. It's a much underused shrub, to be honest, Hypericum. I think a lot of people might have fallen out of love with Hypericum back in the 70s and 80s because there was a ground cover type of Hypericum, which I think was called Hypericum calicinum, which once you planted it, it kind of spread like the plague. It was like ground elder, and you could never get rid of it. This doesn't do that. You know, this is an upright shrubby form that's really well behaved, really hardy, will eventually form a nice compact clump with multi-stem, doesn't get particularly tall, so about sort of waist height, flowers for months, those wonderful seed heads, the coloured stems, the foliage which can be semi-evergreen, not fussy about where it grows, great for pots. It's so fantastic when we come across a shrub that just ticks
every box.
So many boxes.
It ticks so many boxes, and that's why it is definitely on my list. I don't have room in my current garden. That's why I'm going to move house so that I can plant it in my next garden.
Your fantasy garden.
My fantasy garden. One day it'll happen, I promise you.
Which will be your reality garden one day.
Yeah, I cannot wait, honestly. This is why I need to win the lottery, you see. I need a bigger garden, and I just want to do it all. Dave, thank you so much for sending us pictures. This is his Hypericum right now.
That's like my customer's one. That's got kind of like those sort of pinky kind of orangey seed heads.
Do you know what? But you can see that on the one we've got in here as well. These are some pinky and orangey and red coloured ones too. And he's got the gorgeous yellow flowers on there. It's stunning, isn't it?
It is really, really stunning. So underused, really. These are just such lovely, delicate, interesting, stunning shrubs, and yeah, just we could spend the rest of the programme just talking about Hypericum. We could
talk all about Hypericum.
But we can't.
It's genuinely one of my absolute favourites. It's going onto the list. Let's bring you back onto Asters, though. We have had these for the last couple of weeks, but these needed to be brought back because they are still incredibly popular. And what your Asters are going to give you is that late season colour. It's all about extending the summer season. It's all about extending the flowers. And Asters are one of the latest when it comes to being able to flower prolifically.
Yeah, they are. They're triggered by short days. They're short day flowering plants. It's known as photoperiodism. Some plants like long days, some like short days, some are not fussed. They're neutral. But just when you think it's all over, it's not going to be all over with these because...
It is now. No, sorry.
No, it isn't. Not by a long chalk. Because these... Really, these are almost like your aubracia or your sort of lilacs of the autumn. They just, when you think it's all over, they just burst out into fabulous colour.
And they smother, in a good way, the plant with the flowers. And I really want to highlight that because we say it, you know, petunias, they smother the plant. Asters really do. You can barely see any foliage. It's like somebody has gone on and placed them perfectly so you can't see any foliage.
Well, as you see in the pictures there, these aren't photoshopped or anything like that. These, you know, what you see them doing there, that's what they do.
That's what they can do.
Plant them somewhere sunny and bright and open, and they will just give you these domes, these mounds of wonderful colour in these soft pastel kind of shades.
And they sort of automatically grow in that shape as well, don't they? You don't have to prune them and trim them into that. They naturally grow like that.
Almost like those autumn flowering chrysanthemums that you see as well. They grow that
lovely dome
same
shape.
kind of way. These will just be such a delight as well for the bees and the insects, so they'll get that late kick or hit of pollen and nectar from these as well, which is fabulous. And it's just great, isn't it? Just to be able to extend that colour so late in the season when other things are going over, just to give your garden that last hurrah and give yourself that lift. And what I would do, I'd like to do, again, if I had my fantasy garden, I had endless amount of space, if I'd bought this Hypericum, I would actually like to have an area where I underplant the Hypericum with the Asters. because I think a little carpet of those flowering down at sort of 8, 9, 12 inches underneath, and then the
that garden that we
middle.
might be designing.
Oh yeah.
We've made a start.
We need to write these ideas down, don't we?
I'm going to do it because we're coming out with these ideas and we're going to forget them.
It's all on tape.
It's on tape. We can watch it back. The asters are just beautiful. This is how they come to you. They come to you in our little greenhouses. Those greenhouses are labelled with the colours because there's three colours in there, 2 of each, and there is a label that identifies which one is which colour, just in case you do want to make sure you're planting certain colours in certain places. They come to you in a box, basically, so they're in the plastic greenhouse, then they're put securely into a box. They will have been in the post for a couple of days. It's not unusual for them to arrive to you and be a bit thirsty. So just like when somebody comes, they've been on a long journey, first thing you do, would you like a cup of tea? Your plants need a cup of tea. They need a drink and they need to see the light. So take them out, show them the light, give them some love, give them some water, and then let them rest up for an hour or so. And then you can go and you can plant them out, and they'll be very, very happy coming back for you every single year, those asters. 480451 is the item number. We do have a £5 saving on that particular item as well.
Do you know the finger thing you did there? Did you watch that film the other night about Churchill?
No.
Well, apparently, I don't know how true it is, but to start
off
with...
I love a film about Churchill, though.
Churchill used to do the victory sign. That
way round?
Yeah, and then somebody told him...
You can't do it, you've got to do it that way.
Yeah, but allegedly he started off...
Doing it like that?
Doing it like that.
That's not rude.
And then his secretary one day said, don't do it like that.
Do it like that.
So he did.
It's funny, isn't it? Because different countries. So my sister worked abroad a lot. She did teaching English as a foreign language, and I can't remember which country it was that she was in, but this is a really rude gesture in that country. So she would be like, "Come here," to the children, and it's like a massive insult to do that to somebody. No, come this way. And of course, she's a teacher of foreign language students, so she's very,
It's a bit like us, really. Animated.
Just animated, really animated when she's talking. So she soon learned that she couldn't do this to get them to come here. She has to do it this way. Isn't it funny? Different cultures.
Sometimes those little nuances make all the difference, don't they?
Anyway, small tangent. Apologies. Let's bring you back.
We like going on a tangent, don't we?
Let's bring you back to our agapanthus collection. Great time to get hold of agapanthus. We've got 3 gorgeous colours in here, ready to. Oh, is this a slightly different one? Is it? It is, isn't it? Apologies.
That one. That's different. This one.
Because we had popping purple. Bridal bouquet.
Yeah.
Oh, and brilliant blue, popping star. We had popping purple last time. Apologies. Yes, okay. So you're still getting 3 amazing varieties, and the perfect time to get these now because they're ready to burst into flower. Certainly that one. I'd like to think that hopefully you'd get a flower coming off that one as well. But they flower for you right the way through the summer, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, these flower for a long, long time. And what is, I'm going to move this out of the way. What is ridiculous is, I mean, for goodness sake, look, this one's just in a 9-centimetre pot. And it's already got a flower stem on there, probably getting on for at least kind of a couple of foot, 2.5 foot tall.
It's incredible, isn't it?
There's 2 flower buds down at the base as well. This one, as you say, Bex, has already got 1 flower bud on there. This one probably will flower. And it's indicative, really, of the fact that they do not mind, agapanthus do not mind being pot-bound.
Yeah, we love this, because you can often see, in fact, I can see it on this one, the pot itself
is distorted
yeah, because of the roots. And actually, that's a good thing, because they want to be pot bound. I'm not going to be able to get it off.
You'd have to cut that off with scissors.
I think you'd have to. Some of these you are going to have to cut out when you repot. And
just be super careful when you cut that pot off.
You want that basically because that means that the plant, the plant is very, very happy.
What I would do myself is put a pair of gloves on and then with a pair of secateurs just snip down around the rim about 4 or 5 places just to loosen it a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but put gloves on and to be really, really careful when you do that.
So we wouldn't go too big when we pot this on, but would we? We only ever want to go slightly larger, and I'm saying maybe a centimetre or so on either side. What do you think?
I probably wouldn't go any bigger than, say, putting that into, like, going up into a Torino pot to start with. That size. Yeah, because you say if you go too big, Bex, then you're going to discourage you from flowering again, aren't you? So
you could even bury it in this pot for the time being, couldn't you? And it'd be perfectly happy, and it would flower for you this season. You know, that is a really good way of keeping your agapanthus happy. Bury it in the pot that it's in, and then you can get a lovely display in another pot. You can underplant it. You know, you can still make it look gorgeous.
Have you got any agapanthus in yours?
I have, but I don't like to talk about it because I haven't had major success.
Oh, well.
Well, I was stupid, okay? So I was like, oh, that's pretty. Didn't really know anything about agapanthus when I got it, which was about 6 or 7 years ago. And then I just planted it in the ground and I let plant it out. And of course, then I learnt about it and learnt that it likes a hug. So I thought, well, that's rubbish. I've planted it out. It's not going to do anything. It didn't for 2 years. And then I was like, right, let's dig it up and put it in a pot somewhere. And then I think it sulked at me because I moved it.
Right.
And I'm looking at it now, and it's in a nice tight pot, and I keep getting foliage, but I'm not getting the flowers. Well, so I think I've been very foolish with mine, which I've had for several years now.
I mean, you can plant these in the garden, and people do, but the secret is if you're going to plant them outside, is super sunny spot.
Yeah.
Really, really well-drained soil, and they do quite well in quite poor soils as well.
Well, this is the other mistake I think I've made, is I've put it into our amazing premium professional compost, and
you spoilt it.
It doesn't.
No.
So basically, it's happy. It's happy in the sense that it doesn't feel like it needs to do anything.
No.
I don't need to put up flowers. I'm good.
So it's chilling out.
It's chilling. That's exactly what my agapanthus is doing. It's just chilling out, and I need to put it into a much poorer soil so that it stresses the plant out, so that it has to put the flower out.
Well,
these are the mistakes I've made. These are the things you can learn from me.
And this is, well, this is a case in question here. I mean, ordinarily, you wouldn't expect to get a plant to flower like this in a pot that's silly small, would you?
No.
But this one actually enjoys being pot bound. 2, 3.
There are 3 flower spikes coming out of that one.
And these are the hardy ones as well. These are the hardy type of agapanthus, because the evergreen ones, the Africanus types, they can actually perish in really cold winters. These are the much hardier ones, these ones.
Yeah, and that one's beautiful, isn't it? The Poppin' Star. 561288 is the item number. You'll get all 3 of those delivered to your door. And they have, is that £19 saving? That's really good. That's nearly half price on that one. So do think about adding that one into your basket. You'll have them every single year because they will come back for you time after time after time. What do we do in the basket?
Bit Cindy Lauper there.
Rock roses. Apologies. Oh, Stu got really grumpy with me there. Rock roses. Oh, God.
I just sort of like rock lobster.
B52s. Helianthemum rock roses. You'll get 3 colours included in here. These are really nice, versatile plants, but they're great, aren't they, for ground cover, for rockeries, for those sorts of areas.
They're great on bass guitar. No, they're absolutely stunning. These are. And I did actually, I don't know if Stu still got them, but I got a couple of pics of some of these. Yeah, from a customer down the road from me. And they are in a front garden on really poor sandy soil in a gravelly area.
Bright sunny spot.
Bright sunny spot. I'll be honest with you, the orange one has finished flowering, the yellow one is still looking spectacular, and that was probably about a month ago that started flowering. These are great ground cover plants, great for rockeries, great for scree gardens, great for poor, stony, sandy, really icky soils, other things won't grow. Only get to about 5 or 6 inches tall, and gradually they spread out year on year. And one plant eventually can cover an area about the size of an old-fashioned dustbin lid.
Yeah.
So really good plants.
And they flower for ages as well, don't they? You get quite a decent season out of them.
About 4 to 6 weeks main flowering, and then if you go over the top, clip off the flower stems, just down to above the foliage. Quite often throughout the summer, they randomly send out some more flower shoots and just keep giving you the odd bit of colour. But they're just one of the easiest things to grow, but they do give that most silly amount of impact. A bit like you were saying, Bex, about the asters. With the asters, the foliage disappears under the flowers. With the rock roses, the helianthemums, foliage disappears under the flowers.
The rock rose is something that could grow like in, if you had a wall and you had a crack in a wall or something or other. Are they the sort of things that you could do in those kinds of areas
if there was enough soil for them to kind of grow into, absolutely.
grab onto.
Yeah, anywhere really super well drained. You say, for instance, you've got a patio in your garden at the moment, and it's a bit past its best, and you've got a few corners of the slabs that have been broken off, and they're a bit wibbly wobbly. Well, you could just take those away, dig a hole, break up the soil a little bit, plant like a helianthemum in there, and they would love that kind of place. They love those really hot kind of conditions where they get a little bit stressed out. That's where they do really, really well.
Lovely. Well, you are getting 3 of those colours, 6 plug plants, 2 of each, all labelled in those mini greenhouses for you. And you can double up if you want to, so you could get 12 of those just for an extra £5 for that second pack included. They will grow, they will spread, obviously. They will get to the size that we were showing you there as well over the years too. 480992 is the item number for your helianthemum, the rock roses. We're going to bring you back though to our pre-planted Petunia Easy Wave hanging baskets. I love our pre-planted hanging baskets because do you know what? These are not just 2 or 3 plug plants put into a basket. They're really nicely over-planted, aren't they? You get such a big, full display. The fragrance is delightful, isn't it?
The fragrance of these petunias.
You don't even need to get that close. Yeah, it's a beautiful smell, honestly.
So nice. A lot of people don't realise how fragrant petunias are.
They are.
Yeah, especially in the studio, because it's nice and warm and calm in here. Really picking up on the fragrance of these.
Not sure it's calm.
Well,
I know what you mean.
I mean, it's not blowing a hoolie, is it?
Like
it's been outside since the year dot. But, you know, it will warm up. We will get those lovely warm evenings, those warm days, and you will enjoy the aroma of this, you know, lovely, lovely fragrance. Look at the colour mix in this as well. I love it. This is a hanging basket full of joy, isn't it, and potential, because this looks good now, this is going to look good through June, through July, August, right into September, even up to October. Feed it with our blooming fast feed that you'll get with your order anyway. It will keep it going, it will keep it looking good. All the hard work's been done. All you've got to do is hang them up like we've hung them up here, somewhere bright and sunny, and just enjoy the way they cascade down, giving you all that interest and colour. It's great, isn't it? You open the box, that's in the box. You've gone
just hang it.
Yeah, you've gone from a bracket that's looking depressed with nothing on it to within a minute a bracket with this looking fabulous.
And it is going to look fabulous. You've got the anti-twist hanging bits on there as well. Those can be removed, so you don't even need to have these as hanging baskets if you don't want them to be. They could just be used as pots on their own. And of course, those pots and hanging baskets can be reused next year because they have been designed to do that. 480992 is the item. No, that was for the rock roses. We'll give you the details of the Petunia Wave hanging baskets. 450091 is the item number. It is a pair of those for £24.98. That is £12.50 each hanging basket. Obviously less than that if you are in the club, which I think is a great price. Think about the cost of the plugs, the cost of the compost, the cost of the hanging baskets themselves. I think that breaks down to being a very competitive price when you break it all down.
Yeah, I can see that, Bex. Sorry, Bex. I can see that in a garden centre being £19.99 for one of them.
Easily.
Yeah, easily, to be honest.
And of course, if you get your order to over £40, they're going to get delivered to you free of charge as well. And you get your free gift included in there as well, which they're going to enjoy. You're going to be feeding those with the blooming fast over the summer. Keep those petunias fed because they are hungry, hungry plants. We've got to bring you back to our hydrangea, the hot chocolate. I knew you were going to like this one. It's one of our absolute favourites. Doesn't look like a hydrangea. So much interest goes on with this. This one can get quite big as well, I believe, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, this can get to sort of a couple of 2 or 3 metres if you kind of leave it to keep growing, but you can trim it back if you want to. That's not an issue at all on this, to prune it back, to keep it in shape.
This one's flowers on the new growth, right? So I think I'm right in saying that.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of that myself. I think it is new growth flower in this one.
I'm sure this one is flowers on new growth, so it would be a prune it back in sort of late winter, early spring.
Yeah, late winter, and the new shoots that come will give you flower the same year. Yeah. So, but I wouldn't want to prune it back, only for the fact that I just want as much of this foliage as possible.
I know.
Because the foliage, if this never flowered, I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't.
It's a gorgeous foliage.
I just love it for the foliage. And the way you moved it a minute ago, Bex, and you kind of moved the leaves about and stuff. Look at that. I mean, just the different colour there underneath the leaf is so different to the front of the leaf. And you get that sort of glimmer and kind of sheen on this as well, almost like an iridescence on some of those leaves. Great upright habit there as well. This one's gone slightly over because it's going towards the light, but a multi-branched plant. And this isn't an example of what it's going to grow into. This is what we're actually going to send out to you. And then, of course, In the summertime, you get these lace cap heads of flower, and the flowers are quite fascinating because the central part of the flower's got purple, little tiny purple buds, and then the flowers around the edge are a lovely bright pink colour, and all that on top of this dark chocolate coloured foliage. And you can't see this where you are, but when you get it home, when the light shines through these leaves almost a bit of a blood red colour almost, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where the light kind of shines through them. Great veining on those leaves as well. This is a really fabulously interesting, unusual, different hydrangea. You can just imagine this in a corner of a garden somewhere, just filling up that space. Where you get, say, two walls or two fences meet at a right angle, and
yes.
sometimes you want to give a bit of drama in that corner. That'd be a great place to put this, wouldn't it? Let it grow up, let it fill that corner. And if the fence is a slightly different colour as well, the contrast.
Yeah, get it to stand out.
Yeah, that foliage. And then, of course, the flowers on top. Oof, gorgeous.
511507 is the item number for the hydrangea, the Aspera hot chocolate. You go to YouGarden.com to place your orders. You can also place the order on the phone line as well. Telephone numbers at the bottom of the screen there, 0844 502 0050. Just tell the operator if you are ordering via the phone lines that you've got an offer code, because that's how you're going to get the £10 saving. A third off from your hydrangea hot chocolate. Let's bring you back over to the best-selling item that we bring you, though, from YouGarden. It's always been the best-selling item for the many years that we have been broadcasting, both from the potting shed but also in previous lives on various different shopping channels as well. This is the item that everybody just can't get enough of, and the reason is because this is packed with vital ingredients that the majority of your plants are going to love. Even house plants are going to absolutely adore this. It's a commercial product. It's the product that we use here at the nursery. If we grow anything, if we pot it on, this is the compost that we use to do that. And if you think our business is growing plants, we've got people who've been in the horticulture business all their lives, 40, 50 years they've been working in the business, and this is the compost that they choose to use. And you always say it's about simplicity. I mean, I think you're right, but I think there's a lot of complicated sciencey stuff that goes on behind that.
There is, but you know, there is a lot of science that goes on behind it, but once you've identified those critical ingredients, you don't need an awful lot to create a brilliant compost.
And I think it's a lot of marketing spiel, isn't it, where people go, oh, we've added some of this and we've added some of that, and it's to get you to buy that product. Actually, it's not necessary. Once you've nailed the recipe, you've nailed the recipe.
Yeah, I think it was Sophia Loren used to, for the whole of her life, I think it might have been her, it was somebody famous like her, the only moisturiser she ever used was olive oil.
Right.
That's what she used her whole life. It might have been Bridget Bardot, but it was somebody like that.
Yeah, I know
and
what
of course
you mean.
Now it's like, oh, you need hyaluronic acid and you need polypeptides, and you think, really? I don't even know what that is. You know, that could have come out of a chicken's back end for all I know. I mean, who knows where these things come from? We're not going to fox you with all those kind of weird things with this. This, first of all, this is a massively peat-reduced compost as well, the way we're all going, and eventually we'll all be peat-free. Then, what we've done, we've substituted the peat we've taken out with that composted wood fibre. That does three major things. First thing it does, it keeps the compost really nice and open. That allows the air, the oxygen, to get down to the roots of the plants. That is so important. It also means when that little seed germinates and it's just got that really tiny, feeble little root, it can get down into that compost.
Yeah, because it's
can
so
establish.
soft.
It's soft. It can get down in there, and also it means the water can percolate down through this compost and, crucially, drain out of it as well. So you've never got a compost that's too wet, never got a compost that's too dry, but also there is a wetting agent in this compost. It makes the compost what's known as hydrophilic. It loves water. It wants to absorb the water, suck it in. How many times have you bought an inferior compost, it's dried out, you've gone to water it, run straight off, it doesn't soak in? This is much more likely to soak up the water when you're watering it. Slow release fertiliser to feed your plants for up to 6 months, and it's pH balanced, not too acid, not too alkaline, so it's going to suit the vast majority of plants. And as Stu, our producer, always says, the value is in. He does say a lot of things. He just said to me, he says a lot of things, most of which we don't listen to. We do, really. True. We do love him, really. The value is in the bag, not on the bag, because it's coming direct from the supplier to you. We don't need fancy bags with, wasting printing ink and stuff on them.
Nope.
simplicity.
Commercial product, not been sat on pallets, you know, in the bags for months and months on end. It is made regularly, it's delivered regularly. Because we sell so much of it, we can't let it sit around, honestly. It's the compost of choice. It's the one we use here at the nursery. 100125 is the item number, and you get 10% discount from that if you are part of our discount club. So every time you place an order for your compost, and let's face it, we need a lot of compost throughout the year, don't we? You will get £2.50 off this particular configuration. So that really is a massive discount. If you just added up the discount from the compost, that would be a significant amount, but then add in all of the other items that you get 10% off as well. This is also a great way of you being able to get multiples of your free gift, because there is no postage attached to this particular item. So if you want multiples of your free gift, place an order for your compost. Just your compost. Put in your code YGTV2424 and we will put in a bag of the Blooming Fast fertiliser. Then come back and place another order. You'll get another bag of your Blooming Fast fertiliser as well. Let's give you a little reminder of some of the things that we have seen so far. I think our favourite of the show so far, it's the Hypericum, the miracle attraction. This one is absolutely stunning, totally hardy, very, very easy to grow. Excuse me, doesn't even mind if it's in a part shady position, doesn't need to be in full sun, though it would be very happy in a full sun position. But you've got flowers, you've got berries. It does this for a really long season as well. Like, it's just, you know, it's starting right now. It looks absolutely stunning now, but it's going to keep going right the way through into, I mean, probably through to October time, when it is still going to be looking absolutely amazing. It's definitely in the list of shrubs that you should have in your garden. 510890 is the item number, and it's only £9.99. We've taken a third off the price. £5 saving, definitely one. Please consider adding that one into your basket. Just having a little slurp of my drink, apologies. Next we have the Aster, the Autumn Jewels. 6 jumbo plugs included in this particular item here. 3 different colours, love the colours on here as well. They are so stand out. When it gets to October and even into November, there's not much going on, is there, in the garden? Like, all the flowers have gone, all the major colour has disappeared. We're feeling a bit sad and blue because we had such a lovely time in our gardens over the summer. And now we've got all those dark days. Asters, at this point, are just incredible. Once you get into those winter months, you know, October and November time, these are going to be just coming into their own. The plants grow in a neatly kind of mounded shape, and they really do get covered in these beautiful flowers. Like that, I promise you, that is what you will get. First year they won't get massive, but they will establish because they are perennial, and they'll just keep getting bigger and better for you. Another one with a third off, £9.99 is the item, is the price on that one. Next we have the agapanthus collection. Slightly different collection than the one we brought you previously, because in this one we've got the pop-in star. So that one is the brilliant blue that you're looking at right there. Then we've got, oh, I love the bridal bouquet. I don't know what it is. Pure white flowers. I've definitely turned on to these lately. They're really, really beautiful. They stand out, don't they? And then you've also got the pop-in star, which just has that lovely kind of stripe going through. It makes them really, really interesting, opening up from those tight sort of purple buds. Massive saving, £19, so it's nearly half price. Perfect time to get hold of these, because on the ones that we brought into our potting shed, you could see that there were buds ready to burst open, and they flower all the way through the summer, and they're some of the most standout flowers, aren't they? Agapanthus are definitely the divas of the, I mean, just look at me is what they're screaming when they're in flower. 561288 is the item number if you'd like all 3 of those 9cm pots delivered to you. Next we have, the geum, the orange pumpkins. Love all types of geums anyway, but these are just something a little bit different, a little bit unusual. These lovely sort of pom-pom ruffle petals that you're getting. You can see why they've been called the pumpkins, haven't you? They're like little balls at the top of these nice stout sort of sturdy stems. Nice sort of shape to the foliage as well, nice mounded foliage that you get there, and then that just makes the perfect backdrop for these. I want to get hold of these because I quite fancy planting these around my bowls mauve, because I just love the orange and purple colour mix. You can sort of see it in that picture as well with that purple in the background. It is a gorgeous combination. 561211 is the item number, and it's a half price deal. We've taken £15 off of that one for you. Now then, we've got our Harkness Rose up next. This is the Chelsea Pensioner. There's lots to talk to you about with this one. It was a finalist for Plant of the Year at Chelsea Flower Show in 2024. Also, that was where it was launched. The beautiful red colour of that matches the, the Chelsea pensioners' coats that they wear. You get 50 petals, up to 50 petals included in each one of those. We've got a £10 discount. We're also going to donate £2.50 of the sale to the Royal Hospital Chelsea, which is where the Chelsea pensioners live. So much to tell you. Bred by Harkness, 140 years in the business, disease-resistant plant. It's just an absolutely incredible one. Love for you to be able to add that one into your basket, please, today. 531104 is the item number. And with our offer that we've got for you at £19.99, £10 saving, a potted plant is cheaper than buying a bare root rose, and we're still going to give that £2.50 donation to the Royal Hospital Chelsea when you place that order. So that's fantastic, isn't it? Right, we're bringing you back onto our favourites table. We are heading towards the last 20 minutes of our 3-hour show from the Potting Shed today. So let's squeeze in as much as we can in the last 20 minutes. We're going to start here with the Clematis, how did you say it?
Tangutica.
Tangutica, thank you. The Clematis Tangutica Little Lemons.
We're going to squeeze these little lemons,
We're going to squeeze these little lemons.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
This is gorgeous, because normally a Clematis Tangutica will go mad. If you know this type of Clematis, in one season they can grow 10, 12, 15 feet. They really, really are super, super vigorous. What they've done, they've taken that fabulous, gorgeous Tangutica habit and they've turned it into a plant that gets only about 40 centimetres tall. That's why we put it in our little tower, not a tower planter, this is our...
Eclipse.
Eclipse. That's why we put in our little Eclipse planter. This would be absolutely perfect for this. Lovely, lovely little yellow flowers, bright, bright yellow, lemony coloured flowers that just sort of open out, and then the petals reflex and curve backwards, giving like a Turk's cap type of look. And even the seed heads are great as well, lovely fluffy seed heads on these. And I say it all the time, if you live 3 floors up and you've just got a balcony, you can still enjoy this type of Clematis, because this one isn't going to go mad and take over your whole balcony. This will quite happily grow in something as tiny as this, as small as this, and still look magical. Flowers for a long, long period of time as well. It's hardy, it'll come back year after year. It's got this lovely ferny foliage. It's just great, isn't it, when they take something that ordinarily you could only grow if you've got a really big space, but then suddenly you can grow it in a little tiny space.
I love that.
It's great, isn't it?
Genuinely. And the thing is, at YouGarden, our sort of tagline, if you like, it says gardening for everyone. And that is something that we stand by, that we wholeheartedly believe in, because we've all got different spaces to garden, haven't we? I've got your kind of traditional family garden, big patch of grass and, some borders around the edge. But I know people have allotments that they can, go to. Some people have just a tiny courtyard area, or, as Adam says, if you're 3 floors up on a balcony, that might be the only space that you've got for gardening. What we like to bring you here is something for all of those gardens, For Sean, who's got 60 acres. Joking. But, for people who've got bigger gardens, we've got loads of stuff for you. But likewise, if you've got those smaller spaces, we've got stuff for you as well. And this is definitely one of those things for those smaller spaces. Speaking of Sean Ryan, by the way, he's back tomorrow, so he and I will be in the shed tomorrow. But he's also on QVC, which is why he's not here today. He's on QVC later on. QVC Style. I believe it's 5 p.m. Stu's just checking for me. But he's going to have a full hour on QVC Style later on tonight. So it's QVC 2, I think it's listed as. But if you want to tune in and see him on QVC Style from 5 o'clock, it'll be different items to what we've got here, but I'm sure he will appreciate your company. The reason I said that was, right, I just want to show Keith's picture. Can I show this, Stu, please? Keith has sent us some pictures saying plants as the title. The reason I've said that is I recognise that planter. I believe that came from QVC, didn't it, Keith? What are you going to plant in there? I can see you've got the compost in there. So have you put...
I reckon there's going to be some nice bedding plants.
Some nice bedding plants, something that's going to trail and tumble over the edges. That's going to be perfect. I don't know, some antirrhinums in there, some geraniums in there, even some Begonia apricot shades would look good in there, wouldn't
Imagine
they?
them tumbling down. That would look amazing, wouldn't
Let's do it. Begonia apricot shades. If you need some, I mean, you might have a plan already, Keith, but if you need something to go in those, because I see you've got a pair of them either side of that door, let's start you off because we've got some amazing bedding. Begonia apricot shades.
Yeah, they'd look amazing tumbling down. What's that, one of them I can't talk today, one of those champagne towers.
Yeah.
Kind of just all cascading down and easy to grow as well.
Totally.
You probably only need about three or four plants, yeah, in each kind of layer. And then, yeah, wow, that'd be good. Or the Verbena quartz.
We've got, to be honest, antirhinums, geranium fire queens, verbenas and begonias would look beautiful. Let's do 2 minutes on each. So begonias, first of all, an absolute customer favourite. You're getting 10 of these garden-ready plants, but you can double up and go for 20 if you like. If you wanted to just have 2 of those full of begonias, you could probably get away with it with 20 plants. Put 10 in each. You might, you probably get away with that.
I think you would, Bex, to be honest.
Customer favourite. Doesn't matter, come rain or shine. It doesn't matter what the summer weather. These will be fine, won't they?
Yeah, it's another plant as well that even the leaf is interesting. They've got these kind of asymmetrical, kind of triangular leaves that have got that lovely sort of notching and edging around the edge. The stems are sort of like a lovely pinky red colour. They flower their socks off for months on end. In fact, they'll be flowering when you get them out of the box. I mean, these are what we're sending out to you. They're already bursting into bloom now. In sort of shades of apricot and salmon and yellow and peach and white and just absolutely
I'm going to grab this
gorgeous.
one actually because this one is a beautiful yellow colour, but it's got like little tinges of peach on it as well. So yellow from the front there, but when I turn it around and look at it from the back, you can see shades of peach coming through as well. I love the fact that excuse me, begonias are so easy to look after. They almost, they deadhead themselves pretty much. You don't have to do anything. All I do with mine is give them a bit of feed, make sure they're watered, and my begonias were one of the best things that I planted in my garden last year, and my hanging baskets that have got begonias in this year are shaping up to be the best hanging baskets that I have ever done. 410050 is the item number if you'd like to go for your begonia apricot shades. 10 garden ready plants for $12.99, or double up just for £5 more, you'll get another 10 included in your offer. Make sure you put the code in. That's how you get the double up deal, that's how you get the saving, and it's how you get the free gift included as well, which is our blooming fast, worth £4.99, 100 litres of plant food that is going to make for you.
I'd almost say on those, Bex, that every flower is unique. It seems like every flower is slightly different. It's got slightly different shades to it.
Slightly different shades, you've got loads of petals. They're brilliant, honestly. There's a reason they are a customer favourite. Verbena quartz mix is another one that we've got here. It's such a cute, clever mix of colours we've got in there.
It is. This is the one that's much more mildew resistant as well. If you're case you're worried about the dreaded mildew that can affect these, flat heads of gorgeous colour on that as well. Purple, red, white. Some of them, like the one down on the corner here, has got those sort of multicoloured flowers. Lovely white eye in the middle, and then the purple round the edge. Even the foliage is lovely on these. Very interesting foliage. Yeah. These are great as gap fillers. These are great as ground cover. These are great for pots, troughs, hanging baskets, but you could grow a pot of these on their own. I think that's about what we're going to show you here. These were planted up in a pot. They were placed somewhere nice and sunny, and just in a pot on their own, they look magnificent. So the top of some steps, perhaps that are going up in your garden, you could have a pot either side at the top of the steps, a nice pot either side of your back door, your front door. Look at that.
It's gorgeous, honestly, and a really long flowering season you get from these. A little bit of deadheading just to make sure that you continue that flowering season right the way through to those first frosts. A definite summer staple when it comes to your bedding plants. 410076 is the item number. Double up deal available. Go for 10, or if you add another one into your basket, you will get that other 10 for just £5. Make sure you put 2 in your basket when you're doing a double up deal. Buy one, get one free. You put 1 in your basket and enter the code. Double up deal, put 2 in your basket and enter the code. That's where you get those savings. You'll see that discount come through. The favourite when it comes to the garden ready, is the favourite on the favourites, is it the favourite of the entire show, Stu? That's my question. Oh, he doesn't know, we'll check. But it's certainly the favourite of the favourites table, and that is the antirhinums. These are also known as the Snapdragons, is what you might know them as. I think these are definitely a quite traditional favourite, aren't they?
They are. Nobody's anti-rhinum, are they? They're all pro-rhinum today, to be honest, because these are absolutely knockout plants. Look at the colour range on those as well.
You've got
yellow, you've got red, you've got pink, you've got white, you've got those super double flowers.
Lovely corally colour as well in there.
Didn't they? And lovely upright stems as well, strong upright stems on these. Make great cut flowers. You might have had a bouquet delivered with antirrhinums in.
Oh, yeah.
They're really, really lovely.
Yeah.
Nice cut flower. Smell as well. They do have a fragrance. It's not sort of fragrance like lily of the valley or jasmine that will jump out at you, but if you can actually get close up to these, they do have quite a citrusy fragrance to them. It's the long flowering period that I really enjoy. Ideally, they like full sun, quite bright sunny areas, but I did grow some last year at sort of a back of a border I've got in the edge of my lawn. And they got sun up to about midday, and they did quite well, although they got a little bit leggy because they weren't in as much sun as they like, but they still did okay.
Yep.
So, you know, if you can get them into that nice sunny position, right up until the frosts, you'll get these incredible mix of colours. And a little trick for you as well, once the main flower spike has finished flowering, and again, if you can bring yourself to do it, don't wait for the very, very last flower to finish at the top. Once, I don't know, 90% of the flowers have gone on that flower spike, sacrifice those last few flowers, take that flower spike off. That way you're going to encourage more flower spikes to come out even sooner and get, you know, even longer displays.
Yeah, I love antirrhinums. I think it's definitely a summer staple, isn't it? It's just something we should all have in our gardens. Beautiful colour, long flowering again as well. 410048 is the item number. £4 saving on that 10 garden-ready plants. If you want to multi-order, you are more than welcome to do so. Next we have our geranium fire queens, of course.
Over to you on these, Bex, because you're growing them, so I'll stand.
Well, do you know what? I mean, I grew these on from tiny plug plants, so this is what I've got going on outside my front door. I think I did that video this morning. I can't remember. Basically, in the last 2 days, I've done these videos. And look, there's my hanging baskets. You can just see the bottom of it. It's looking so good. That video was done yesterday. Those geranium fire queens are just stand out. The bright red colour is incredible. But what I love is not just the flower. It's those zonal leaves that you've got there at the bottom as well. I really need to scrape out. Can you see all the bits between my block paving?
Oh, don't worry about that.
I need to go and scrape it all out, don't I? No, every time I see this video, that's all I can see now. So that's going to be a job at some point. I love them, though. I think geraniums are, again, another traditional favourite, aren't they? My nan used to have these all the time. And the reason that they're a favourite is because they do flower for ages. They're super easy to look after. And of course, you can overwinter these as well. That's why mine are in those little pots, because what I'm going to do at the end of the summer is pick them up, put them in the conservatory and bring them out again next year. Maybe even do some cuttings.
You can, yeah. They're easy to do cuttings from in the spring.
Yeah.
Just cut between a leaf node, below a leaf node, dip in a little bit of rooting powder, pop into a well-drained compost, somewhere warm, they'll root and you get more and more plants.
Love it.
Look at the quality of these, though, is spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah, well grown on, really nice root structure. You can see how healthy these are. I'm trying to take one out that I haven't had out yet so you can see what I'm talking about. They're excellent quality, and the fragrance that I'm getting from these right now.
I knew I'd find one.
Yeah, there's a bud.
Look,
little
there
flower
we
bud.
go. Already leaf flower bud.
There it is.
I thought, looking at these, I thought they've got to have, some of these have got to have flower buds on because they're such good plants. So within 10 days to 2 weeks, these are already going to start flowering. And once they start flowering, that's it. They're going to keep going right up until the frosts. Yeah,
that's it. That's incredible. The flower spike that grows up, it's going to come up quicker than you realise. Honestly, it's amazing how fast they grow. And as I say, the fragrance that I'm getting from this, just holding this in my hand right now, is so, so beautiful. 410064 is the item number for your 10 garden-ready geranium fire queens. £4 saving on there. And of course, if you want to multi-order, you absolutely can get as many of those as you want. And a perennial with a little bit of winter protection. So that's a really, really good one when it comes to summer bedding. Annuals obviously are wonderful, and we love our annuals, but it gets very expensive if you fill your garden with annuals. A good way of doing it, a cost-effective way of doing it, is getting those beautiful perennials going on in your garden. Right, we're going to do Hypericum again because I love it. Stu says no. We're going to the gerbera. Stu says no. The gerbera gardenias. We haven't actually shown you these yet today. I know we had these last week, but this is an incredible deal because what you get is a buy one, get one free. The item includes 3 of the 7cm pots. You get the yellow, the red and the orange. No, yellow, orange and pink. Those are the 3 colours that you're going to get. But if you put one in your basket and enter the code YGTV2424, we will put another item into your basket. So you end up getting 6 of these pots. And gerberas they're lovely, aren't they? I was going to swear. They are lovely, aren't they?
Blooming gorgeous.
Blooming, yes. It was that word I was going to use as well.
Yeah. Sometimes it's on the edge of your tongue to say so no one tell you, can't. But yeah,
blooming lovely.
They are absolutely stunning. And a couple of years ago, Bex, well, even 4 or 5 years ago, if you'd have said to me, yeah, you can grow gerberas outside, they're hardy.
Yeah, you'd be like, no, don't be stupid.
Don't be daft. They're not. These are hardy to -8. So these really, really are hardy gerberas. They die down in the winter, but they sit quietly through the winter. Next spring, they burst back and they look like this.
Yeah, and the foliage. Okay, so, I mean, you will get loads of flowers on these, and once these get established, you can get a good sort of up to 50 flowers per plant across the summer season. And I mean, mine, I've got a home, they're flowering now, they have been for the last couple of weeks, but they're going to keep going right the way through to those first frosts. The more you cut, the more flowers you will get as well. So deadhead these. Again, don't wait for them to go over completely.
No.
As soon as you cut one off, it'll send another one up. In fact, Stu, I don't suppose you've got time to find my pictures, have you? Because they looked amazing in their first year, and they're going to be even better this year. Nice and easy to look after, pretty hardy. There you go, that's first year.
First year.
First year I planted them.
So you bought them this size, and that's the result you got in the first year.
First year.
Yeah, I mean, and I've heard as well, up to 50 flowers is possible on one plant.
I think that's potentially
throughout
even
a season.
Potentially even you can get more once these get established. I don't know.
Did you cut any of these to take them indoors?
I did. You know, I don't do much cut flowers displays for indoors. I'm hoping to this year because I've got all my dahlias and everything outside. But no, I didn't. I just deadheaded as the flowers faded. I deadheaded.
But you could see they would make fabulous cut flowers with those super lovely long straight stems.
And they used a lot in flower displays.
Yeah.
You know, when you buy a bunch of flowers, generally there's a geum in there. A gerbera in there, and that's because they last a really long time as a cut flower as well.
Yeah, they're kind of really, really happy, cheerful kind of flowers. And they've got that sort of classic daisy-like flower on which, again, I always say, if you sat 100 kids down and said, draw a flower, I'm sure 98%
if you sat the adults down and said, draw a flower, they'd do the same thing as well.
A daisy kind of flower. There's just something about it that sort of takes us back to our childhood, and it's just kind of how we visualise a flower. But it's just so good to know now that what was once a cut flower and we could never grow outside, well, now we can enjoy these growing in our gardens from year to year to year.
Yeah, absolutely. 561198, it's a buy one, get one free. You put one in your basket, we'll put another one in your basket as long as you enter the offer code, which this week is YG2424. In this instance, you're actually going to get 6 because the item is 3. Does that make sense? Sometimes I don't. Words do not do what I want them to do. And considering my job is to talk, that's a problem, isn't it? Let's move on. We're going on to one of my favourites.
You could always say buy 3, get 3 free. That's easy to say.
Yeah, but it's not because you don't want to put 3 in your basket. That's where it gets confusing.
Just joking.
Let's get back onto our Japanese maple Acer collection. I recently bought this for my friends who got married just recently, and I wanted to buy them a gift that would remind them of me, because I'm that selfish. No, but something that would last them their lifetime of happiness together. And this is why I went for the Acers, because do you know what? I love Acers, first of all, but also an Acer can last you decades. They can live for a really long time, and they don't need a massive amount of care.
They can live for hundreds of years. Myself and my other half, we went on a holiday early in the year to Cumbria, and we went to a garden centre there, and they had Acers in pots. I'm not exaggerating. These pots were almost like the size of a hot tub.
Wow!
And these Acers had trunks that thick.
I would have been so happy.
And these Acers were £4,800 each.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's why I need to be a millionaire, you see.
And but they will live a long, long time.
They will.
There's people who've got bonsai Acers out there that are over 100 years old, probably even 150, couple of hundred years old. They're long, long-lived plants. They're very, very hardy. But what's extraordinary about the picture you're looking at here is we always, normally, you think about Acers, you think, yeah, you get all those fabulous colours in the autumn, because they're just green, aren't they, in the summer? They're just green for the summer. Then in the autumn, they go orange, they go red, they go purple. These ones look good right now, all the way through the summer. This isn't a wait till autumn. This is how they look when you get them out the box. Already, those contrasting colours from these 3 Acers in this collection, slightly different leaf shape, slightly different growing habit, but all stunning selection of plants.
Yeah, and all you need to do with your Acers, so the 2 golden rules to follow is don't put them in bright south-facing position. They do not want to be in a full sun position. Green ones can actually cope with more sun than the darker coloured ones, but essentially they want a dappled shade position is the perfect spot for them, and put them in a sheltered area. Don't put them somewhere where there's going to be a gale blowing through your garden. No. They want to be sheltered, dappled shade. Those are the 2 rules. Outside of that, you're kind of safe with your acers. It's hard to kill an acer. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's hard to do it. They are winter hardy. They do come with our lifetime guarantee. And this particular collection, getting 3 of them, lovely contrasting colours. It's a carefully selected collection that you've got there that work beautifully together. Go.
One super quick bit of advice. When you plant an acer, always make sure when you plant an acer that the soil is slightly sloping away from the base. Never, ever pile the soil up against the base of an acer, because acers have very, very thin bark, paper-thin bark. If you pile the soil up against the stem, it can rot the bark and then you can lose the acer. So always plant these really, really shallow, so that the exact amount of stem you can see here is above the soil, not below the soil.
There you go. 510134 is the item number. Big saving on that one as well. We have taken £25 off, so it's bigger than half price. Bigger than half price saving on that one. Highly, highly recommend for yourselves, or like I did, get that as a gift for somebody, because I think it's a wonderful gift. It's a lifetime worth of watching those little beauties grow. Here we have the Hypericum Miracle Attraction, and Adam and I have, we knew about this one anyway, but we've both sort of fallen in love with it again today, haven't we?
It reminds me, because I said about that Christmassy thing. Sometimes when you go to the garden centres at Christmas time and they've got those kind of plastic sprigs of flowers and stuff, Christmassy flowers that you can put in the fireplace and stuff. That's what this reminds me of. I think it's the kind of the red kind of little buds on the top then, the seed pods, and this is glorious. Such interesting.
I love it so much. I find the flowers on their own just so ridiculously charming. Just the flowers, those lovely yellow, bright sunshine yellow, that kind of glossy bit in the centre, and then the mass of yellow stamens coming out of them. Just that on its own. Just stop and look at that flower on its own. It is the most charming flower. But then when you add into it all of these lovely buds, and you'll get berries on here later on as well. There's just so much happening.
The top of these flowers remind me of. What? You know when you see a slow-mo picture of a drop of water landing on a pond, and then you see the water splash up. That's just what it looks like. It's almost like that water has hit the surface and boom. You've got
many stamens, which means that this is going to be so attractive to wildlife as well, isn't it?
Definitely, and it's going to be something that's good all year round, Bex, because I've seen these even in the winter time with the seed pods on. They still look good, and I've just noticed even something else. Look at that, even there. That look, if we can turn it around a little bit, even there, where the flower buds are actually coming out, even that is really pretty. Just that little cluster there.
Love it.
A little purple cluster where the flower buds are going to develop. The more you look at this shrub, the more interesting features you see about it, don't you?
Oh yeah, look at that, those flowers appear. That is so interesting.
And it's hardy, it's bone hardy.
Love
it. It's really easy to grow. It's not fussy about soil, it's not massively fussy about position.
And it's only £9.99, guys. There is a third off the price of this one. We've taken £5 off it. It's really nicely established. We haven't taken this one out of the pot yet. Shall we see? I'm going to do it. Yeah. I just needed a little wrench.
Oh!
Check that out, Adam.
Yeah,
it's a rooty beauty.
I'm glad it's the end of the show because I need to lie down off there. But yeah, that's knockout, that one, isn't it?
That is knockout. Okay, my fantasy garden. You know that garden that we all secretly plan in our heads. We're planning our own gardens, but we've also got that secret fantasy garden that we've got a list of plants. That's
Can you imagine a hedge of them?
It's on the list.
Down
Beautiful.
either side of the path, a little hedge of them going all the way down.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good.
Adore it.
Suit you, sir.
510890 is the item number. If you want to add the Hypericum Miracle Attraction into your basket, highly recommended from both myself and Adam here at the Potting Shed at the YouGarden Nursery. We have thoroughly enjoyed your company. Thank you so much for all your questions, your comments, your pictures that you have been sending in. We are back tomorrow. Not Adam. You're going to go and do some gardening or something somewhere, aren't you?
I am. I'm back with you on Sunday.
You are
which
indeed.
I'm looking forward to.
So Sunday 10 till 2 it'll be me and Adam, but tomorrow from 10 till 1 it will be me and Shawnee Ryan. If you want to watch Sean later on, he's on QVC at 5 o'clock this evening on QVC Style channel. So I think he's got a full hour, all different plants and things going on there. I hope you're going to get out in the garden this afternoon. I hope, Olwyn, I hope you're taking it easy with your painting. Thank you so much to everybody for all of your company, and we will see you all again very soon. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.